Big Ronnie saying if you don't watch this guy's YouTube channel, you're making a big mistake.
What's up, everybody? That was weird. I thought I was already added to the stream, but I was not, apparently. How's everybody doing tonight? Happy early New Year's. Happy New Year's Eve to many of you on the East Coast already. It is December 31st, 2022. And the last, let me get this adjusted here. It's looking a little goofy right now here. You know how I'm doing. I'm doing my Diet Coke here. But anyways, the last 3-4 days, basically this whole year, have been a whirlwind and crazy for me. And I just wanted to come on and do a year in review show where we're going to talk about some of the goods and some of the bad things from the last year, including TV shows, movies, celebrity deaths, really anything of importance over the last year that I could kind of think of or have notes and stuff. I thought about recording this and just uploading it, letting you watch whenever, but at the same time, I can do it this way. And then for the folks that aren't able to watch right now, you can watch later on as well. And I thank you for that, for being here. Everybody that is here right now, if you would please hit the thumbs up button, I would really appreciate that. And I hope I'm not catching you with year in review fatigue, because earlier this evening, things going on, but while I was doing these things, I was noticing there was like probably 5 of different YouTubers that I'm subscribed to that we're all having kind of year in review, best movies of the year, worst movies of the year, and just all those types of things. So hopefully this is not catching you with any fatigue from that type of stuff, but hopefully you're having a great weekend, a great start to your weekend, and getting ready to dive into the new year. And I'd been talking about this for a while. Some of you have been asking, oh, you're going to talk about, your favorite movies or whatever, or things you're looking forward to next year and that type of stuff. And there are quite a bit of movies to discuss and recap from the past year. And rather than doing like an official, this is my 10th favorite movie, my 9th favorite movie, my 8th or whatever, and just going down a list, I've compiled a list of movies that I liked, movies that I didn't like, and just movies I need to see, favorite horror movies, and just a few different things. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to talk about it. It'll kind of be random. We'll kind of, interact with you with, you out there viewing and chatting along. So it kind of like, how we go. We just randomly talk. Like the other night we were on here for like 3 hours. And so, hey, if it goes that long, great. If not, whatever. But we're going to talk about some of the highs and lows from 2022. That's what we're going to do right now. And first, we'll say hello, Heath B. What's going on? How you doing tonight? Thanks for being here and hanging out. What's cracking, Nocturnal? What's up? Robert is in the house. What's going on, Robert? How is things going in Dallas? What's up, Wicked Network? Barbara Walters just went. It's about to end 2022. Yes. Very, man, this year is tough on celebrity deaths. And, the year can't end soon enough when it comes to us losing celebrities here. So we've got to get into 2023 and hopefully things change, because this year has been tragic for celebrities, and hopefully new year, new start, and we can make it through without losing so many folks. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, but hopefully 2023 won't be so bad. Anthony, what's going on? How are you? Hope you get to 1K. Oh, you hope you get to 1K. Yep. Nope. Hey, that'd be very cool if you get up to 1,000 subs. Kevin Hampton's in the house. What's going on, Kevin? How you doing? Donovan, what's up, Donovan? How are you? And Mr. Slipcover, the internet's favorite boyfriend, in the house. What's going on, homeboy? Man, it has been a whirlwind of a past couple days, and I've needed to do this year in review. And so I thought once I got home, I was like, well, I can sit down and record it and just, kind of talk about a list. But I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to go live and it will be out there and everybody can watch it when they have time. But for now, we'll just, we'll free form it rather than sticking to like going down a list or something. But Bullet, man, hopefully you're having a wonderful end of your year, and hopefully you don't have to do no work or nothing crazy like that, and staying warm. Hopefully that is happening. What am I getting? Notifications over here. Sorry. Get that away from the microphone there. Just, hopefully the beginning of the year brings you warmer weather and much success and happiness. Gloom Bloom is in the house. What's up, Gloom Bloom? How are you doing? Jesse Swarbrick, what up? Way up, dude. What's up? Everybody's working for the weekend. Everybody wants a new romance. Everybody's going off the deep end. Everybody needs a second chance. That is right. Or a 2020 second chance or 23rd chance, right? So very, very cool. What's going on? Way up, dude. Donovan, how do you feel about 2023? Are you happy? Donovan, I'll tell you what, I am very much looking forward to getting into a new year. There's going to be some things changing in my life personally, but I'm still going to be here doing this, hanging out with you all just as much as I am this year. Getting through the holidays has been tough. I haven't put out as much regular content as I had in the previous few months. So once we get through the holidays and things start to settle down and I get a little stability with my schedule, we should get back to having some more regular content where it's not me doing live streams or Dollar Trees. We should have more variety of things coming up in the new year. So I am very excited for it. Antonis, what's up? You're back in Brainwash. Oh man. Yep. Hey man. Yeah. You know what? New York though, politically is pretty much on the same level of California, right? Isn't it? Michael McNally, what's going on, Michael? How you doing? That notification should have been me. I sent you a little something for the channel. Well, Robert, that is too kind of you, and maybe that's exactly what that was. So nice of you, and I appreciate, I appreciate you doing that. But when it's this type of way where YouTube doesn't get their greedy hands all over every penny of it, that makes it that much more special. And I see that right there. Thank you so much. $20 essential super chat through PayPal to the channel from Robert. Robert, thank you so much. Absolutely appreciate it. All the support you've given to the channel this year has meant so much to me. And that goes for everybody. All the support all year long from everybody, just hanging out and watching, having fun with us. All of you, it's been a blast. I'm so happy that the channel has seen so much success and so much growth this year. Not to really get into like specific numbers and details and stuff like that, but hey, we've increased like 1,000 subscribers, and we're almost at, you have to have like 4,000 minutes viewed or 4,000 hours viewed. You have to have 4,000 hours viewed a year to be able to monetize and stuff like that. And that's, in order to keep the channel going and growing, you have to monetize. This is part of life. And at the beginning of the year, I was like, okay, let's get to 4,000. And we did. And now we're almost at 30,000 hours viewed for the year. So hopefully that keeps snowballing and growing. And the fun thing is the Monday shows, the prizes are going to get insane, out of this world. And so hopefully that keeps going, and we will have so much more fun in the new year. But thank you so much for that, Robert. Really appreciate that. Can't wait to see what's happening in 2023. Lots of cons and everything in between happening. Yes, the Wicked Network. No, we've got Fear Fair in a couple weeks. And then a couple weeks after that, we've got Creep IE. A couple weeks after that, we got Days of the Dead. And I'm already making plans and organizing, getting all that stuff ready so we can make the best of it all. So hopefully the video's coming out great and good quality, using the gimbal and the sort of steady cam and everything. So hopefully the footage is a lot, better quality and everything as we're moving forward. I'm continuously trying to make the channel better. So thank you for that. And man, I can't wait, can't wait to bring you more cool content in next year. Amy Keiki, what's happening? Amy, how you doing? Happy New Year to everyone. Yes, all of you happy. It's, hey, there over half of the country is already on December 31st. And so, like 80-90% of the world is already on December 31st. So we're getting there. We're getting close. And I imagine by the end of the stream, it might be New Year's Eve here as well. But we are wrapping up this year. We're going to talk about some movies, some celebrity deaths, what was good, what was bad, some TV shows and stuff as we go throughout the evening here. And again, if you are just watching this and not here live because you weren't able to, because OGP is insane and shows up in the middle of the night, thank you for being here. Hopefully you enjoy listening to us chat about what we liked and didn't like this year. And Antonis, happy almost New Year to everyone. Yes. Will you be live for tomorrow's New Year's Eve? I'm not sure yet. That is something that we have to see. It is very rainy in Southern California, and the forecast says rain all weekend. So I would imagine I'll probably be cooped up indoors, probably at home here, trying to get things caught up. And if nobody else is live for me to jump on their stream, I just might go live. I'm not sure. It just depends on what everybody else's plans are. Because it's one of those things where, like, let's say, I see Wet Movie 1 live tomorrow night. I might jump on his channel, but if he's not going to go live, then maybe I will, or maybe after that. I'm not 100% sure yet. And that's why I kind of thought, oh, you know what, we're going to do this tonight so I can get this year in review done, because I've been telling you I was going to get it done, put it out there for you. So we shall see about that tomorrow. Happy New Year's here. Here's to 1993, 2023, right? Oh, I know. Isn't it crazy? I think, hey, 1993, I had just barely graduated high school. That tells you how much of an old fogey I am. And man, these years, they just keep going quicker and quicker and quicker. That's what you do through PayPal, because you don't want YouTube. Well, and I appreciate that, Robert. That's awful kind of you. Very, very kind of you. Kevin Hampton just finished Trailer Park Boys Christmas special. Decent. Nice. The one where they went to Minneapolis, started before Christmas, but went to visit the family, so just got back to it. Started before Christmas. Yeah. Gosh, I don't think I've seen the one where they went to Minneapolis. I'm gonna have to check that out, Kevin. That's cool. Yes, what movie? One of your favorite YouTuber? Hope he goes live tomorrow night. He went live for 2020. Yes, and that's why I'm not sure if he is. I do know he has to work in the morning, so I don't know if he's going to be have enough energy to make it to midnight. But we'll see. We shall see. Probably won't see you tomorrow or the next. So happy New Year's, Michael Mandiali. Well, thank you very much. And that's why I thought about going on tonight. Rather than it was either go live tonight and just kind of wing it, or it was sit here right now, record a video, upload it, and have it up at tomorrow morning for everybody to watch. And I was like, you know what? I'm just screw it. We're gonna go live. We're gonna chat. I'm gonna say, a live Happy New Year, happy early New Year. Hopefully you all have a wonderful New Year. Carnage for Justin. What's up, Carnage? Yeah. And so this is what I thought. We'll just do it this way. Yep. They told Ricky that Minneapolis was also North Pole. Oh, nice, Kevin. I don't think I have seen that. I'm really gonna have to check that out. But without further ado, so anybody who is tuning in, on a replay or anything, so we're not too far off track. I do want, we will talk about celebrity passing. There's a long list of celebrities that have passed. But I thought, first of all, let's talk about. We can talk about the best movies, or we can talk about the worst movies, and also like my personal favorite movies of horror and movies that I watched that weren't new this year. But I think we'll start with new movies. And So my, and rather than like, making it like all, like, oh, let's work down to it. And, cause I'm so wishy-washy with picking favorites, but I will tell you there is one clear-cut favorite movie for me this year. And there's no question about that. And that is good old Top Gun Maverick. I absolutely love that movie. I loved every minute of it, from the very, very beginning, where they start with the same music that they started with in the original Top Gun movie, all the way through. A good amount of nostalgia, a good amount of newness, because it's only the second movie and they're 30 years, 40, 80, 90, 30 years apart or whatever. I don't feel like it's a passing the torch movie, because obviously the cast from the original one is either way older or passing away. So to bring in a younger cast makes sense, because it's a military movie. So I didn't look at it like that, even though we have a new and a younger cast. But I absolutely love Top Gun 2, Top Gun Maverick. Thought for me, that was the best movie I've seen in a long time. And I was waiting a long time for that. And there is some sentimental value to that movie for me, because it was a movie that my dad was looking so much forward to see. And he passed away a couple of years ago after it was announced, and we were waiting for it, but it was delayed. And, because of COVID and everything, they didn't want to release it. So unfortunately, my dad never got to see it. And that's very disappointing, because the first Top Gun was always one of his favorite movies. So it's a bummer. There's a lot of other elements to it, why sentimental value, because of like my dad and stuff. But I could talk about that all night, and I don't really want to do that right now. So then my next, let's see if we got it here. Bum, bum, bum. Well, that's the Blu-ray, whatever of it, or the DVD 4K. I'll get it right one of these days. But my second favorite movie of the year, as I sit here right now thinking about it, is The Batman. I thought it was phenomenal. I loved the darkness. I loved where they went with the character, kind of making him younger, and his gadgets and everything weren't as advanced and fine-tuned as they were with the Dark Knight trilogy. I thought Pattinson did a fine job. The cast was great. The Penguin and the kind of like mob aspect of it and everything were very cool. I just really enjoyed it. I was skeptical going in. It blew my socks off. Absolutely love The Batman. It was just great. It was a really good movie. And then another one that I thought was going to be good, but I did not think it was going to be this good. And that was Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I absolutely loved it. What they did with the multiverse, and him seeing all the different versions, of himself, or, and then the Scarlet Witch and all that stuff. It was just phenomenal. I loved it. It was a good story. It was crazy with a lot of action. And, I do have a bit of like superhero movie fatigue, but Doctor Strange and the Batman were phenomenal. Absolutely love both of those. And then one that I was getting pushed to see quite a bit by my main man Balzer and asked about was Elvis. I absolutely thought this was a great movie. Yeah, it was a little bit longer, but as I sat there in the theater, I didn't feel long. I was into it the whole time. There was no points where it really dragged or got boring. And I'll tell you what, it really pissed me off. I really wanted to go find Colonel Tom Parker's grave and spit on it after that movie. Although maybe parts of it weren't accurate, there was so much of it that was. A lot of that story we knew, some of the things I didn't know. But Elvis, man, it was a phenomenal movie. I really recommend it. And all these movies here, I'm just talking about the ones that I really enjoyed this year. We'll get to the stuff I didn't care for in a minute. But once I get done with this list, I'll get back to your comments and then see what you thought about some of these movies here. And then next on the list, and this is a movie to me that kind of came out of nowhere, and I absolutely fell in love with it. This is, in my opinion, the best horror movie made in at least the last 5 years. X was phenomenal. It gave us everything we wanted. It had a certain campy vibe to it. It had a feel of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It had characters that you really kind of bonded with and felt bad for, or rooted for, characters that pissed you off, and sometimes, you know, they got what they deserved and you loved that. X was just phenomenal, and I have yet to see Pearl, so I'll get to that very soon. I have a list. I need to see Bones and All. Still have not seen that. The Menu, Pray for the Devil, and Violent Night and Pearl. I still need to see those movies, so I can't speak on those right now. But everything I've heard, Violent Night has been getting good, good reviews. Everybody's enjoying it for the most part. The Menu and Bones and All, they're all doing really well as far as, you know, what I've heard from other people. So X was amazing. Absolutely loved that. And then this I watched let's see here. Do I have it in here? Oh, I might not have it in here. But the next one I wanted to mention was The Outfit. I watched that and did a joint movie review on Fat Samurai Guy's channel with him. We watched The Outfit, and that's the one about way back in the day, Chicago mob, and they're using he's like a tailor or something, you know, make suits and stuff, and the mob is using his store as like a hideout kind of place and stuff, and it was really good. I really enjoyed that a lot more than I thought I would, being that 90% of the story takes place in like one room. So it was very good. I really enjoyed The Outfit. If you have not seen that, I totally recommend it. And then let's see here. I'm gonna make notes where I'm at, because I just started writing. I went down, I was like, well, I'm gonna write a list of movies that I know, and not put them in any particular order. But then the rest of these are kind of going to be jumbled up a little bit. But The Black Phone, I absolutely. So here's the thing: if from the second the movie started to the second it ended, good movie. But we didn't really get a backstory on what the killer's we kind of knew what his MO was, but we didn't know really why he was killing, what turned him into the monster that he became and he was during this movie. There's speculation, a rumor of a prequel that may enlighten us on why he is or was who he was. So I hope we get that. But from start to finish, it was good. I just felt like it was incomplete. But The Black Phone, that was another good one this year. Definitely a very good one. And another movie that once I saw it announced, was like, no way, I cannot wait for this. And I absolutely loved it. And that was The Northman. It was violent, and people were saying that, oh, it's like maybe, you know, one of the most violent, crazy, goriest movies in a long time. I didn't feel like that. I did feel like it was very violent, but I really enjoyed it. I thought The Northman was great. The cast was phenomenal. The story was good. And here's the thing. I'm not like, I don't care for Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, that type. I'm not like a fantasy kind of fan, and so to be as impressed with The Northman as I was, it's really good in my opinion. I just thought it was really good, and it kind of shocked me that I liked it that much. And then we've got Everything Everywhere All at Once, another multiverse kind of movie with a phenomenal cast, craziness, action all the way through. Everything Everywhere All at Once, definitely one that if you would have asked me a year ago if it was going to be one of the best movies of the year, I would have been like, I don't know, but it was amazing. It was really, really good. And then one that I just watched recently, Emily the Criminal. And this, to me, it kind of slid under the radar a little bit, but this movie was great. It was really great. And it was very realistic because, you know, if you live in Southern California, you understand there is a very prominent criminal element, and there are a lot of starving and struggling either actors or students or whatever that are trying to get by. And for her to kind of get pulled into this life, it makes a lot of sense. And it's sad at moments, but very interesting and fast-paced action story. And Aubrey Plaza is a phenomenal actress as it is, but this probably my favorite movie of hers. I think I can't think of anything else that I would put above it. And then Barbarian. This is a movie that I didn't know anything going in, and I think that's kind of the way they advertise it. They wanted you to go in blind. And after Master Chaos had seen it, he told me, "Don't watch a trailer, just go into it blind." And I did, and I was like, "No way!" Like most of us, if you've seen Barbarian, it has some twists and stuff that you're like, "No way! What the hell?" And so Barbarian was just amazing, and I didn't watch. It took me like a couple months to get to it after it came out, and shame on me for that, because it was great. I've heard some people that were just like, it wasn't for me or whatever, but it was so twisted. It was so twisted, just with what happens in it. And I don't want to spoil anything, but Barbarian, I absolutely loved it. And so that's kind of my general list of movies that I've seen this year that I thought were definitely noteworthy that we needed to talk about. So let me get back over here to some of the comments, and then we will get back into talking about the next list, which will be maybe my least favorite, or movies that pissed me off the most this year. So let's see here. We were right around here. So you're going to root for the Chargers since Pats are not going to make the playoffs? Well, Carnage, no, I will not. I will not. My son's a big Charger fan, but I will not. If the Pats don't make it, I'll be pulling for Cincinnati, because I got a lot of family back in Ohio, but I got a big homie who is a huge Cincy fan, and I'll definitely be pulling for them, just because I hate the other team so much. But hey, the Pats are not out of it. If the Pats win their next 2 games, they're in. Miami might be without Tua this week. And if Miami's without Tua, the Pats should win that game easily. Then you got to beat Buffalo. But is Buffalo going to be resting people? Because if let's just say Buffalo's not going to have the number 1 seed, and they know they're going to have to play the following weekend, they're going to rest some people. So we shall see. We shall see. And if they got the number 1 seed locked up, they still might rest some people to protect them. So these next 2 games, they're going to be tough, but they are winnable, and the Pats could be there. So we shall see. To me, the best movie of the year was Black Phone and Top Gun Maverick. Those are great. Cannot disagree with you. Cody, what's going on, Cody? Man, I apologize. It's very late at night over there where you are, Cody. But thanks for dropping in and hanging out. MB Sox, what's up? What do you think about Tom Cruise and his crazy Scientology cult? So, yeah, the Scientologists are, they are out there. And there is a gigantic, not too far from where I live, Scientologist compound that, is like a compound where people have tried to escape, and they go get them and bring them back. And so there's lots of crazy stuff. They have like a studio over there. It looks like a castle, but it's a studio where they make a lot of their propaganda and their materials and stuff. It's nuts. It is cuckoo. But hey, it's not just Tom Cruise. What John Travolta's in there, and there's a lot of like celebrities and stuff that either are or were part of it. And it's weird. It's weird, but if they're happy, more power to them. Did any other movies come out today for the final Friday of 2022? Yeah, this week was a bad week for our movies, Antonis. I think if you're going to go to the theater right now, I think the big thing is still going to be Avatar 2. That's really it this week. Watching from the emergency. Oh shit. Well, Cody, I hope everything's okay. What are you doing in the emergency room? Yeah, right. There were not many good movies this year, and Carnage. And so to me, there might not have been as many, because the movies not as many movies could get done. It was taking longer for them to get done through COVID. And this is when those movies that were being made or should have been made during that time should have come out this year. Well, I think what we did get, the quality over quantity was worth it, because of Top Gun, Doctor Strange, Batman, Elvis, Black Phone, Northman, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Menu, Barbarian. There was so much that was really good. Maybe not a ton of content though. Yeah, far and few between. Yeah. Love the Batman, not as good as Dark Knight movies. So Antonis, I like the and I always forget on the Dark Knight movies, but it's I like it. So the first one is a Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, Batman Begins, whichever order those are in. I always forget. But the third one, the one with Bane, I like this movie better than that one. This is my it's tough to pick, but this could be my third favorite Batman movie of all time, between the first two in the Dark Knight trilogy and this one, but also the original Michael Keaton Batman movie, because of the nostalgia factor, is so good. And Michael Keaton is my favorite Batman. So tough call there, but the Dark Knight trilogy is unsurpassed when it comes to any comic book superhero type characters. Juno, what's up, Juno? Can't wait for Joker 2, right? Joker 2, it's you know what? I don't know when it's coming out, exact dates or anything as of right now, but yeah, the Joker movie was amazing. Can't wait for the sequel. So many people didn't like the Batman because it was so dark, but I thought it was really good. No, the Batman is supposed to be dark. It's supposed to, right? So I loved it. OGP needs to go see Avatar 2. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. My daughter saw it. She enjoyed it, but I think it's just way too long for me to go see in the theater. I think I'm going to be putting that off until it comes out on disc or streaming, and maybe I'll watch it at that point. But I don't see myself going to a theater. Batman was decent. Not my favorite Tim Burton Batman films. I have a soft spot for the new Batman. Was decent. You know, and that's what I'm saying. Like the Tim Burton, the original OG with Michael Keaton, that man was so good. But I really like this. And to me, the thing is, they make all these movies so different, and there's no real continuity with, as you know, we understand, you know, Bruce Wayne's parents were killed. We get that. That happens in all of them. But other than that, there's little different things, you know, that are going on. So, you know, to compare one to the other, it's almost like they're really two different characters. So it's hard to say, well, this one did these elements better or whatever, because they were all a little bit different. But I thought Pattinson was great, and I love the dark, twisted movies. So I thought it was great. Can't wait till next year for the Oprah biopic. Nice. Hey, you enjoy that, Tim H. Hopefully you do. Oh man, Elvis was excellent. Yes, it was. Elvis was pretty good for sure. Yep. No, and I got you, Tim. Of course. Who plays Elvis? Is Austin Butler, right? I think it's Austin Butler. I bought that one from Best Buy for Black Friday, but haven't watched it yet. Can't wait. Oh, are you talking about the new Batman? You haven't seen it yet? Wow. X was okay and had nice cinematography, but I enjoyed Pearl more. No way. Okay. And I haven't heard that much. Most people are like, you know, either they liked X, you know, and Pearl was either like okay or bad, but I have not heard too many people say liked Pearl more. That's cool. I'm very much looking forward to Pearl. Pearl was like the lead. She was like the final girl in X. Violent Night was a fun ride. I cannot wait to see that. And The Menu, cannot wait. Paul Braden, what is going on, bro? How you doing, man? Hey, hopefully things are going well up there. And congrats. I haven't talked to you since a wedding. Congrats on getting married there, tying the knot. And hopefully you, your lady, and your dad are all doing well up there in Oregon, Paul. The Black Phone is definitely in your top 3 favorite horror movies. Black Phone was phenomenal. It was. Let's see. So Black Phone was really good. One of your best of the year. Black Phone is on Amazon Prime. Yeah, and I've seen Black Phone. I went with What Movie One. We saw an early screening of it, like before it came out. It was good. Also, the new Candyman is on Amazon Prime as well for free. Yeah, and new Candyman, okay, but it's not really, to me, like, you know, very noteworthy or anything. It's almost like, you know, we'll get into that in a minute. Let's see here. The Northman is more like Vikings, which is fantastic. Yeah, and I loved it. And that's where, you know, if it was leaning a little more toward like fantasy realm, it would have been tough for me. But the like Vikings element of it was amazing. It was just badass. You know, to me, I look at that in like a genre with like, you know, Conan the Barbarian, those type movies. Let's see here. Nice hidden gem found the other night. Old 90s found footage movie called The Last Broadcast. Oh, okay, nice. I haven't heard of that. That's great. Favorite movie of the year, OGP, is A24 Pearl, the prequel to X. Very cool. Mia Goth is amazing as Pearl, and cinematography is amazing. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. Dang, Pats are still in it. They are still in it. No, it's all good. It's all good. I understand. Most people thought the Pats were out. I mean, they should have been out. Alfred, what's going on, Alfred? How you doing? Let's see here. Favorite movie this year, Hellraiser 22. And that's what I was going to say a second ago. Hellraiser is good. Let's see. A reboot that staying respectful to the original Hellraiser. The story was great and the movie didn't bother me. I truly enjoyed it. And I liked Hellraiser this year. I liked it. I thought it was good. I did think it dragged at times a little bit. Could have been tightened up. But all in all, I don't think I agree with you. I don't think it like stepped on the toes of the original. I didn't feel like it was like passing of the torch. I didn't feel like it was anything of elements of movies that pissed me off. It didn't have any of that. So I enjoyed it. I thought Hellraiser was great. And it actually got me like in a Hellraiser mood. And I was like, I need to go back and start watching some of the others again because it's been a while. But I enjoyed it. I thought they did a good job with Hellraiser. Honorable mentions, others you enjoyed: Top Gun 2, Bullet Train, South Park. Was South Park the post-COVID special, yeah, and Bob's Burger movie. Yeah, I haven't seen the South Park or Bob's Burger movies. Mr. Bones, what's up, Mr. Bones? How you doing? The trailer for Pearl does not convey the tone of the movie. Okay, Hall & Oates, very interesting, and that is I've heard stuff like that before. I have, and so that's very interesting. I really need to see it. So here are and some of these I'm just not gonna have pictures for to put up, but you all know what I'm talking about. The movie that pissed me off the most this year was Texas Chainsaw on Netflix. That Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I hated it. It drove me nuts. It could have been so good, but there was some serious flaws with the timeline. There were some stupid things that happened. I'm sorry, but if you get a chainsaw through you, you're cut open, your lungs aren't going to work. You're not going to be able to scream anymore. You're not going to be able to talk. It was just some things that were just so dumb about it. It just drove me nuts. So, I just, man, and I couldn't wait for the sisters. I wanted both those sisters dead. But Texas Chainsaw, I was so frustrated with that movie. That is my number one most pissed me off this year. And this list might surprise some of you. My second most movie that pissed me off second most this year, it is very close, but I'm going to have to say it's Prey, even more than the rest of this list. So Texas Chainsaw 1, Prey number 2, as far as movies that pissed me off. I did not have a problem. You want to make the girl beat the Predator? Fine. You want to have an epic battle between her? Fine. But during the first hour of the movie, could we at least cut to the Predator killing some other tribes, doing some damage somewhere, rather than just we see a spaceship come in and then we see him beat up a bear with the worst CGI in a big budget movie that I've ever seen in my life. That bear looked like a cartoon. That movie, once it got to the hour mark and went forward, fine. There were still some issues, but fine. But the first hour of Prey was like, what the fuck am I watching? I'm watching a movie about a Native American girl, who's trying to show her brothers that she could be as tough as them. Whoop-de-doo. Okay, that's great. If I signed up to watch that movie, fine. I didn't. I signed up to watch a Predator movie, and I had to wait an hour to get to Predator. So that pissed me off. So Predator, the Prey movie can kiss my butt. And then number 3, this probably for most of you might have been number 1, is Halloween Ends. What the fuck were they doing with Halloween Ends? I don't know why they decided to make it a story that basically was, where Michael Myers was a side note, was like frustrating, and then the idea that you're going to have this new character that you're introducing, but yet you're not keeping him around to make like a sequel or anything. Why bother? If we're going to make him, he's a dweeb, then he becomes a badass, then he gets killed. What are we doing? So anyways, Halloween Ends, we've been through it all. It's just, oh my goodness, just so stupid. But I can't hate it as much as Texas Chainsaw or Prey. It had its issues, had some good moments. The score, was great. Anytime John Carpenter puts his fingerprints on a movie, you're always going to get some good music out of it. And then after that, This one is also a toss-up between 4 and 5. But my next most pissed me off movie of 2022 was Ghostbusters Afterlife. And that's because it was like 2 hours long and we got like 7 minutes of the Ghostbusters. And we got like an hour and 50 minutes of Stranger Things 5 with these little kids and going on an adventure. And granted, you know, hey, taking the Ecto one through town and all that stuff, there was kind of a fun adventure and stuff, and all that was fine. But we're advertising it as Ghostbusters. Give me the damn Ghostbusters. You know, this little tiny bit of Dan Aykroyd that we got and Bill Murray, like, it was not enough. It was not enough. It was damn Stranger Things 5, and it drove me nuts waiting for the Ghostbusters to show up, kind of like Prey. So if I watched that and it was just advertised as well, this is, I don't know, was it not Egon? Which one was it? The passed away. I forget the Ghostbusters names, but this is advertised as the Ghostbusters grandkids, and that's what it was all about. We were saying, hey, this is going to be a movie about the Ghostbusters grandkids, and we got a surprise cameo. That would have been fine, but I'm sitting here expecting and waiting for the Ghostbusters to show up, and it took until the very end, and then the Ghostbusters couldn't even beat them. We had to let the little girl beat the ghosts. Fuck you, Ghostbuster movie. No, I didn't like it. I did not like Ghostbusters Afterlife. That movie pissed me off. And then the next on the list would have to be Firestarter. And the reason Firestarter wasn't above Ghostbusters is because we didn't ask for Firestarter. We weren't waiting for Firestarter. And why we got a new Firestarter, I don't know. But it did nothing. When movie one, I sat here and watched it together, and it just was like, it was what it was. It was just a boring movie that we did not need. And I mean, it just like, I couldn't forget it quick enough. Very frustrating. Firestarter, like, why? You know, and we watched it because it was like, well, it's coming out, and if we want to be able to talk about it and stuff, we need to check it out. The next on my list of movies that pissed me off the most, Scream 5. Scream 5 and these damn passing of the torch movies where we have to get rid of the old cast and move to the new cast. Whether it's because the studio says, oh, we can't have a white male be Luke Skywalker, we need a female. And so they'll kill off Luke Skywalker, bring in a female. Or whatever. You know, we can't have the white male heroes like we're doing in Star Wars, got to kill them all off, bring in a more diverse cast. Whether it's something like that or whether it's just the cast is getting older and we want to target, the studio wants to target a younger audience, so we need to get in the younger cast. Whatever the reason for the passing of the torch, they piss me off. You want to make a different movie, make a different movie. You don't need to kill the cast. Have the cast go live their lives happily ever after and have shit happen to new people in case you want the cast to do something else again. But no, we have to make a movie where we kill off all the people that we loved so we can have, and I'm telling you, the older sister, and I forget that actress's name, but the older sister, man, I just could not stand her. I wanted her dead. I wanted to go. I wanted to burn her house down, and I wanted to piss on the ashes. I wanted her dead. I just could not stand that older sister in Scream 5. And the fact that that's what we're going to get in Scream 6 is these two sisters again. Nope. Fuck you, Scream. Done with that franchise. I'll probably check it out whenever it comes out streaming. And so I can be pissed off at it in my own house and not waste money on it, at least. And then the last honorable mention of movies that pissed me off this year, which when I watched, it was like, okay, it was hokey or whatever. But really leaving the theater and digesting it later on, it was a big FU to all the fans. It was Thor: Love and Thunder. How goofy and crazy and cheesy do we have to take that character? This is supposed to be like the one of the most powerful guys in the universe, and yet we have to make him a joke. So frustrating. You can have jokes, but you don't have to make in this crazy ride. Like I was waiting for like a Skittles rain shower or something. Taste the rainbow. But what the hell was going on, man? Just so frustrated with Thor: Love and Thunder. And so that's the list of movies that like really pissed me off that were noteworthy this year. There are some other movies that I didn't care for, that are not even noteworthy. They're just like, yeah, whatever. I don't even care enough to talk about them. And so now let me get back to the comments here and try and get caught up again before we get too far behind here. Let's see here. Sorry, trying to figure out where I was. Okay, so here we are. We talked to Mr. Bones and Blackbeard's in the house. What's up, Blackbeard? Oh, the notorious OG Pizzle. That's right. Glad to see you live. Anyways, again, enjoy them and your content. So thank you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you and everybody. All of you. Thank you. If you tuned in a few minutes later than when I first went live, I was explaining that I just gotten home. I had a lot of things going on over the last few days. And I thought choice one, record a video where I talk about my list of favorite movies and stuff for the year. Boring, blah, blah, blah. Or go live and talk about it and interact with you all, kind of get your input as well. I thought, screw it, let's just do that. I've got a list here. It's not all in perfect order and everything, but I've got a list of the celebrities I want to talk about that have passed and the movies and stuff. So I thought we're just going to go live. So that's what we're doing. And unfortunately, not everybody's going to be watching right now as it is 2 a.m. on the East Coast. And so those folks hopefully will be able to, watch the replay, when they have time tomorrow or the next day or whenever they want. But so that's why I thought we would do this today. And I definitely want to wish everybody a happy new year. Hopefully this 2023 brings everybody lots of health and success and, love and time with family and just good things. I just hope for the best for everybody. Check out a movie called The Deep House. OGP came out 2021, but definitely check it out. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to start making notes because that's the second one I need to make a note out of now. The Deep House. Okay. Note taken, Carnage. Texas Chainsaw Netflix movie didn't have no redeeming characters. No, there was nothing. In my opinion, there's nothing redeeming about it. Even the kills and everything were just like, it was so stupid. You got the girl on the bus and she could run out the door and just run away and escape. But no, the door's not locked. So why not just run out the door? No, we got to hop out the window that's like right next to the door of the bus and then get cut in half when we're trying to hop out the window. Stupid. Was it kind of cool watching her get cut in half? Yes. But it was stupid because she could have just went out the door. But why didn't she go out the door? Because we wanted to cut her in half and make it cool. Just dumb. Just dumb. Why? Why? Explain to me why she didn't go out the door. Well, aside from the cameraman being in the way. Agree with Juno. Bullet Train, thought that was much better than I expected. Okay, nice. And I still need to check out Bullet Train. I heard bad things and I put it off, but now I'm hearing good things about it. So we'll see. Hope your channel blows 2023. Your new content, you deserve it. Well, Blackbeard, thank you so much. I'm going to keep working on it and hopefully we get there. You did not see Prey. In my opinion, Thanos, don't waste your time. That's my opinion. A lot of people like that. Me and Matt have gone back and forth about Prey because he absolutely loved it. I hated it. So some people are going to love it. Some people are going to hate it. But in my opinion, Poo OGP, have a new year. Have a happy new year. Well, Wolf Vision, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Happy new year to you as well. Let's see here. What are some of your best movies you've seen for the last year, 2022? I went through that right before. I'll recap it real quick before I go into my next list. All the movies that got mentioned here in a minute. Let me 10:57, so I'm 10 minutes behind. Let me get caught up on a few more comments here, and then I'll recap the movies I liked before I go into the next list. We'll do is my favorite horror movies for this year. You liked Prey. The problem I had with the script would have been much preferred the movie to be in Comanche. They gave us a Comanche cut, but it's dubbed. That sucks. Yeah. And that's the thing. I've heard, a lot of people were saying like, let's, if we're going to have a story about these Native Americans, let's hear them. Let's hear them. And there's like Fat Samurai Guy. And there are movies that I am the same way, would rather hear the original dialogue and read subtitles. There are some like that. But even with Prey, there was so much of that we understood what was going on in that story with the Native Americans that you probably could have done in Comanche and not even had to worry about subtitles if they did it right. Prey was the worst movie seen this year and it bored living hell out of me. Definitely worst movie. I'm with you. Prey pissed me off. Halloween Ends was absolute dog shit. Yes, agreed. And Tonus, yep, Halloween Ends is bad. People like that. People that like it are brainwashed. Michael Myers had a total of 10 minutes. Yeah, no, it's so bad. It's so bad. Ends, another trailer that didn't convey the total. I know they totally tricked us. And then when Jamie Lee Curtis did that little video where she's in the woods and Michael Myers is behind her and stuff, teasing us. Another lie. Polar 12, what up? Halloween Ends sucked. It did. Yep. Poot poot. Jam and Music Man's in the house at 2 a.m. for Jam and Music Man. What's going on, homeboy? Halloween Ends was so bad. Michael 5%, Corey 85%, right? Yep. No, so bad. The Corey story, man. Unbelievable. These companies need to just effing just leave the classics alone, come up with their own ideas. That's what I'm saying. Come up with your own movies. Leave the classics alone. All these assholes just want to ride someone else's wave and not use their own material. Exactly. Yep, exactly. Nope was sort of okay until they brought out the monster and it was a kite. Yeah, Nope. Have I seen Nope? Nope. Do I want to see Nope? Nope. Did I hear anything good about Nope? Nope. So I'm good with Nope. Halloween Ends so damn boring. Michael was barely in that movie, and seeing Corey body slam the shape is just insulting. Correct. Yes. So dumb. Nope is very disappointing. Yeah, they just need to stop with all the Halloween Ghostbuster movies completely. Make something new. Make something new. You can make a spin-off. It doesn't have to be a sequel. It could be a spin-off. That'd be fine. Like a spin-off with the Ghostbusters grandkids. Fine. But let us know that's what it's going to be. Just cash grab at this point. Yes. And people will keep paying to see it, so they'll keep making it. Antonis loves Scream 5. Well, that's awesome. And that is great. And here's the thing. I might not like a movie that you like, and I'm not gonna think you're a moron or anything. It's art, and we all appreciate it differently. And so, if you didn't like it, then that's great. If you did like it, great. I'm just talking, we're just talking about my opinion, but your opinions are just as valuable and just as important as mine. So whether I like it or don't, doesn't matter. I'm glad you like it. The only way they stop making these shit if people don't buy tickets. Yeah, no. But the problem is, like, you look at like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the new one. It was like a Netflix movie. So they're making it anyways. People don't have to buy tickets. We already got, and you're not going to get rid of your Netflix subscription because they make a dumb movie. I mean, if they make something insulting, maybe, but a dumb or a bad movie, we're not going to cancel. No, and I get that, and I respect yours as well, Antonis. Scream 5 was ass, but I'm with you. Bro, let's get real. After Scream 2, they were all dog shit, right? Jenna Ortega is the movie's only saving grace, right? No, and you know what? And that's like, man, Jenna Ortega is phenomenal. I've loved Wednesday, and her in X was great. I mean, there's like so much that Jenna Ortega has done lately that has been good. But man, she was phenomenal. But that older sister in Scream, I wanted her to go out like the older sister in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie went out. I wanted that chick dead, and she didn't go dead. And now we're going to have to watch her again in Scream 6. Just like most movies after the second, the most horror franchise, they're terrible. Yeah. And that's, there are some movies, some franchises that you get good ones. Nightmare on Elm Street, or Nightmare on Elm Street, we debate those, but I was thinking Friday the 13th. Part 4, Part 6 are great. Part 7, okay, whatever. But so there are some franchises where it does work, but when you get too far off the rails, just vaguely remember Scream 5, so that's how much an impact it made on you, right? OGP's entire list are franchises. The list of movies that pissed me off are franchises, right? Let's see. Yeah, no, they really are. Oh man, but here's the thing: if they made original movies like some of the movies that I love, in fact, okay, so let me go back to recap some of the movies I loved. Doctor Strange, The Batman, Top Gun. Okay, franchises. Elvis, standalone. Black Phone, standalone. X because he was the original. Now it's a franchise. The Northman, standalone. The Outfit, standalone. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Emily the Criminal, Barbarian, The Menu. They're all standalone movies. So if they would make more movies that are standalones or fresh ideas, I would love them, but we take these good movies or these good franchises and run them through the mud. And that's what's so frustrating. One of the worst movies of the year was The Munsters. Yeah. Oh man, we didn't even talk about The Munsters. Whoa. Yeah. And it's funny. Where is it right here? Somebody's in my front door, probably a cat wanting in. But yeah, Fluff brought this up because he knows I collect the Rob Zombie movies, because I do enjoy most Rob Zombie movies. This one is probably the worst of his, even worse than Halloween 2. If I had to pick, if you're going to make me watch Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 or The Munsters, I'm going to watch Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 like 17 times in a row before I watch The Munsters. Oh God, yes, Thor Love and Thunder was terrible. It was, man, it was just too goofy. They made him a complete dumbass. Yes. Michael, what's up? 6 hours till 2023 in Melbourne. That's right, because you're like just right across the time, like the what do you call that line where the date changes, the date line, I guess. But yeah, very close. What's going on? So I mean, I know there's going to be like fireworks and everything, you know, and I like that big, like, you know, in Sydney, like on the bay and everything. I know they do it up. I'm sure Melbourne, like that, they probably got to have something big going on there, right? I haven't seen Thor: Love and Thunder, but keep seeing your thoughts. The film looks like crap. Yeah, it's not. If you're gonna watch Thor: Love and Thunder, I mean, you're only gonna watch it now streaming, but I wouldn't buy it. Watch it streaming if you want to. Oh my God, the Munsters. Yes, Rob Zombie needs to stop. Yeah, no, with things like that, yes, stop. But he wants to go create something original. Like, you know, here's the thing. I love House of Thousand Corpses. I think that's my favorite movie of his. Devil's Rejects, probably my second favorite movie of his. Those are great. He's done a lot of mediocre and some bad stuff, but go do something like House of Thousand Corpses. Get original, you know, do something like that. The new Thor was absolute crap, by far the biggest disappointment for you. Consider how good the previous one, right? Some of the Thor movies have been great. A24 Bodies was just a frustrating and dumb movie I seen this year with annoying, unlikable characters and arguing for 2 hours. I hate that. And that's one of the things, like with Terrifier 2. And you notice on my top movies, Terrifier 2 did not make that list. In Terrifier 2, you had that scene in the car with the girl in the back seat and the girl in the front seat arguing. And it got hard to watch. I wanted to reach through the screen and punch these girls in the face and tell them, shut up. Like, we understand. And to the director, we get the point. Edit, cut, move on. Like, we understand they're pissed off at each other. The dragging in the dream sequences and stuff. What the fuck are we doing? You know, like, learn to edit that shit out. We didn't need it all. So Terrifier 2 was just way too long and too much dragging to make it really good for me. It wasn't bad. It didn't piss me off. It definitely didn't make that list, but man, it was bad. Or it was long. Actually love Bullet Train. Nice. And man, and Blake, that is one that like is, you know what? And I need to put that. I don't think I have that because on my, and now, do you love Bullet Train because of Bullet in the title? But you know, with my list of Bones and All, The Menu, Pray for the Devil, and Violent Night, it's one of those that I need to watch. Jesse Torres in house. What up? Poop for Ricky Wong. Classic being remade or just okay, quick cash grab, and we always get suckered into it. 100%. Yep. There are many different Predator EC comic book stories that are miles better than Prey movie. Okay, right on. And see, and here's the thing. I'm not, I like comic books, but I'm not like a diehard going and reading all the comic books to know the storyline and where things and how things should be. But, you know, I can tell you what's boring. And when you have a movie about a predator and you don't get the predator for the first hour, I'm bored. Scream was ass. Was it ass? Trash, garbage, as Bullet would say. Ghostbusters Afterlife was equivalent to dropping a mud monkey in the Taco Bell body. That is a very good way to put it. I'm going to have to agree with you. That's a very good way to put it. Pearl is T.I.'s worst film. Wow. Okay. X literally just blows out of the water. See, and I love X. And that's a Bullet. You know, I know we've talked about it. We have talked about it before. And I've heard from other people that Pearl was bad, but I've also heard from other people that they loved Pearl even more than X. But to me, X, I'm telling you, X is, in my opinion, the best horror movie at least in 5 years. At least. I mean, like, it is phenomenal. Oh, Fluff just got here. Can we start over? Oh, damn it. Everybody want to start over? Oh, man. You like the Monsters more than X? What? Bro. Jesse, are you for real right now? You're bullshitting me, right? Everyone is art. What up? Everyone is art. Monsters is 10 times worse than Zombies Halloween 2, right? Right? RZ, the Monsters That was truly tough to get through. It was boring. It was boring. It's one's custom figures coming through with a $20 super chat. One's custom figures. Thank you so much. Thank you. Love you. Thank you for the support all year long. You've been amazing. I just can't thank you enough, as a channel member and the super chats and everything. You have been a huge support for the channel and inspiration for me to keep, doing my best to provide you amazing content. So thank you so much. That is huge. Absolutely love that. Thank you. Devil's Rejects is his masterpiece. See, and that's, for me, and that's, I think, what most people say. Rob Zombie's best movie is Devil's Rejects. And I don't know. I like House of Thousand Corpses. It's like, it's kind of hokey at moments, a little more of a grindhouse kind of feel than Devil's Rejects. I like that dark, like, I don't know. It's hard to exactly put my finger on why, but I just like it more. But Devil's Rejects, there might be a day where I go, you know what? If I watched them both again, I might be like, you know what? You're right. Devil's Rejects is better, but they're both to me like right there, 1A, 1B. But and then everything else that he's ever done is definitely well below those two. We have fireworks in Melbourne. Not as big as Sydney. It's 32 degrees today. Hot, staying home and having a few drinks. Decent. And so you say 32 degrees. And so for those of us in the US, the good old US of A, that is something we have to Google. Is 89.6 Fahrenheit. Woo! Yeah, so it's toasty. So you're about 90 degrees, but it's summertime down there, right? So yeah, wow. Toasty down there for the new year. I really do not understand what happened at the end of Terrifier 2 when the girl gets like superpower. I know that like it was off the rails at that point. The whole like she's drowning in water and then she's gonna like come up and you think she's supposed to die, but no, she comes back and saves the day. But here's the thing. We understand that the clown is like, superhuman. So why not just go with superhuman powers through the whole damn thing and all that. So that is whatever. To me, the way it dragged was the real killer for it, but I'm with you. The ending, her getting out of that tank was like, what the fuck? And just kill her already. Why not? Just kill her. Or whatever. But man, Art the Clown, when he was in the store and he's like, being goofy, was he trying on hats or trying on glasses, right? That was like pretty funny stuff. There was some good moments in the movie, but it dragged for me. You love the sincerity. Yeah, no, sometimes, and hey, sometimes I do, movies that frustrate me, they'll get me going. They really will. Amy Cakey, do you like Psycho Gorman? No. Honestly, no. Let's see. Do I still have a copy of it? Let me see if I still have a copy of it. Yeah, I got a copy of it right here. I watched it once. This is another one that had so much potential, but they didn't know what they wanted to be. Was it going to be like a true horror or was it going to be a kids movie? Does this belong on HBO or Cinemax late at night, or does it belong on Nickelodeon at 4 p.m? We couldn't make up our mind what it wanted to be, and that frustrated the hell out of me. The potential that this movie had, and as cool as this cover looked, what the hell do we do with the story? So it just frustrated me because it didn't know what it wanted to be. You want to pick a plot, have a storyline, and commit to it. If this character, if you have a character that's a killer, it's an evil killer that is, doesn't care about people, just is hell bent on killing everybody he can, then you have to stick with that. You can't make him have an ounce of compassion. And that's kind of like when, in the final season of Dexter here, Dexter New Blood. I love Dexter. One of my favorite shows of all time. I love Dexter. The final episode, when he, and I understand he learned to have a bond. That was his son. What he did, and I'm not going to spoil it, if you haven't seen it yet, but what Dexter Morgan did in the last 10 minutes of that show, I was like, fuck you. That is not what Dexter Morgan's character would do, as we've learned over the last 9 seasons. We know Dexter Morgan would have taken off and saved his own ass. And so the way it went down at the very end of Dexter pissed me off. And that's just, you have to stay in your lane. You create a lane for a movie, you got to stay in it. And like Psycho Gorman, man, they were like all over the road like a drunk driver. Totally agree with you. I remember seeing House Without Corpses when I was in high school and was blown away in the originality and the idea of the story and character. Dr. Satan, yes. No, and I'm loving it. That's one of the coolest things about Creepie Con coming up in a month is there is going to be like this Rob Zombie cast reunion. So many characters. Dr. Satan's going to be there. All these great characters from the Rob Zombie trilogy are going to be there. So I cannot wait. I got shit. I am going to get signed. It's going to be a lot of fun. It is summer in Australia. That is correct. Yep. House Without Corpses, definitely an awesome original horror movies in the early 2000s. Yeah, I love it. Zombies top 3, Devil's Rejects, House Without Corpses. So you even like Halloween better than House, huh? That's cool. And so I like it. Don't get me like Bullet. I love those 3 movies. I love them all. And I love what to me, what is so good about Rob Zombie's Halloween is we get so much more of young Michael Myers. And I really like that. Where, you know, in the original Halloween, we got some young Michael Myers. We kind of understand what's going on. But Zombie really dove into what made Michael Myers the killer he became. I just loved it. But to me, out of those, I'm probably going House, then Devil's Rejects, then Halloween. That's my order. But I'm in agreement with you. As far as those being the top 3, I'm right there with you. I can no longer stand all these new movies, including woke agendas, or just throwing in woke propaganda for no reason, but being inclusive, however it ruins the story. And here's the thing. I understand. I understand. And in the past, minorities have not had a fair shake as far as being represented in film industry and in most industries. And so to put them in places, to give them the same opportunity that, you know, that white people have. I understand that. I respect that. But that doesn't mean we have to go kill off characters that we love to replace them with the minority. Let's just make new movies, you know? So there, and plus with that, there'd be no controversy around it. You just make a new movie, you know, and it, you know, stars, you know, minorities. That would be great. You know, make a good movie with minorities and I'll love it, you know, but, you know, to go replace it is just, it gets frustrating. I like Monsters for what it was, a campy, non-serious homage to the show. X was okay, but predictable. Wow, you thought, okay, I loved X. There were moments where it was kind of predictable. Like with the first guy, I was like, well, he's probably going to die. But the way he died and blood splattering everywhere, I was like, this is phenomenal. I absolutely love it. I hate when Netflix make reboots. Yeah, Netflix kind of sucks at reboots. Psycho Gorman was awesome. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah. You know, and I own it. And it's crossed my mind in the past to give it away, but maybe at some point I'll watch it again and give it another shot. We'll see. The bad guy in PG is a Power Rangers villain. Oh, really? I did not know that. It was like the character or the actor is a power. Is he really a villain in the Power Rangers? Like this guy here? Is that same character in the Power Rangers? Or just looks alike. Terrifier 2 was meh and kind of dumb. That made the movie 2.5 hours long. That bored me. Yeah, no, it was just way too long. Hamburger Time, what's up? Was hoping X to be supernatural. It would have been cool at the end if Pearl does some witchy stuff and sacrifices the kids or eats them or something and becomes young and beautiful again at the end. That's, you know what, that would, hey, I don't think that would have pissed me off. I like the way they did it. Making her just a crazy old conniving lady. But that is a cool, like if you were going to do it differently, that would have been a great idea, Amy. I like that. The only scene I like from both Terrifier movies is the annoying blonde chick getting hung upside down. So, and Carnage for Justin, see, that was like, when that was about to happen, we're like, oh, no way, this is going to be badass. But if you go watch that movie and you slow it down, the effect when she gets cut in half, it's so bad and cheesy. So physical effects, what they do when they make, like, they'll do a molding of somebody and to make their body, right? And then in this molding, they fill it up with this like gelatin stuff. And then, you know, they paint the outside and everything to look like the person. Great. It looks fine. But then when you cut it in half, you see just this cheesy gelatin stuff in there. There wasn't enough like realistic, like, human innards, like her inside when they cut her in half. I just thought it was hokey. I was hoping it was great, but I thought it was hokey. So even for me, that's one of the scenes that really pissed me off in the first movie. Hamburger Time. I'm sure there's going to be a part 3 with part 2 making as much money as it did. This is a $250,000 budget and it's made over 10 million. Yeah, I think there's going to be a part 3. Dexter ending reboot was bullshit, worse than Halloween Ends. Yeah, the Dexter, the whole like what Dexter New Blood, I thought it was great. The whole show was great until like the final 10 minutes. So I'm with you. I order Halloween Ends 4K. It taking forever. Oh wow, that's a bummer. Yeah, and I thought about because you could get the trilogy on 4K at Walmart for $55, and I was like, and then I was like, I'm not going to order it, but if I walk into Walmart and they have it, maybe I'll buy it. And I walked into Walmart, they did not have it, so I was like, it's in the cards. It's not meant to be. I don't need to buy it. I like how they give Art the Clown a sense of humor. Yes, that is a good thing. It sets him apart from most horror characters. I like that, and that just makes him more evil and twisted. Like he's over here killing people and just having a good time doing it. I love that. That is a good trait of his. What killed Rob Zombie Halloween was how much of whiny bitch they made. Yeah, no. And so here's the thing. In part 2, man, just the screaming. I could not take the screaming. And so no, I get it. I understand that. But for me, that was just more part 2. The first one I was okay. Horror always gave minorities their just horror movies, a lot of, I mean, you would have like the minority, but they would get killed first or whatever. But I don't know. That's a touchy topic that, I don't want to, get into politics or offend people or anything. So we'll just kind of leave it alone. Plus the insane family dynamics of Michael Myers with the stripper mom and hillbilly dad. It was just over the top and stupid. I kind of, I liked that. I kind of liked that. The dad was a dickhead. It forced the kid to be kind of a loner and get in his own head. So I kind of liked it. People just never watch horror movies to remember that they were always great messages. And no, you're right. And we don't watch horror movies for messages. And when they try to put a message or try to put some politically correct or cancel culture stuff in it, it does get frustrating because it takes away from the pureness of the horror movie. Wish Behind the Mask, Leslie Vernon had a franchise but only has one movie. Yeah, and that's a movie I just got this year too. Yeah, very, very good movie. But I've heard a lot of people wanting more like a franchise from that. Didn't mean literally OGP. I mean, she looks like one. Okay. Looks like one. Okay. And that's cool. I did not, I get you, but I don't know much about Power Rangers, so I wouldn't know. You just got to watch Psycho Gorman to have a good time and not take it serious. Yeah. And did I watch with Flo? I can't remember who I watched it with, but man, I was getting pissed. Have you seen Martyrs 2000? Yes. No. And I think, is there a American version too of Martyrs? Because I own Martyrs. I got it up. Oh yeah, I own the US and the French copy. The French one's much better. But phenomenal movie. Absolutely. That Martyrs is one of the most twisted movies of all time. It's absolutely great. I agree. Behind the Mask needs sequel. Yep. X is a perfect 5-star film. Pearl actually takes away from its appeal though. Oh wow. See, and that's where and Bullet, I am with you. I agree 100%. X was perfect in my opinion. That when I sit there and I think, what would I change about it? Nothing. I loved everything about it. And I even loved how it pissed me off when Jenna Ortega's character decides that she wants to be a porn star and then felt bad for the boyfriend. I was mad, man. I was like, that bitch. And she got hers. She got what she deserved. So it worked out. It really worked out. What do you call a smiling Roman soldier with a piece of hair stuck between his front teeth? I'm glad he ate her. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's great. Way up, dude. I love it. I'm glad he ate her. Is he's got a little pube stuck in his front teeth there? Oh my goodness. I would say though, your favorite remake is Suspiria. They did a wonderful job. And you know what? And Amy, that is a movie that I think the remake is better than the original. We tried watching Suspiria out in the original out in Vegas a while back. I think it was me and Fluff. And it was just like it just dragged. But I think the remake is better. Halloween Ends shouldn't exist. It needs to be forgotten and banished from the face of the earth. I'm with you. Halloween Ends. It should, even if that's what they're going to say, if this is this franchise, that's what it is. That's the way that franchise ended, or that trilogy. Then we just need to forget the whole damn trilogy, and hey, let's make another one. I would rather at this point right now, I would say let's make another movie. Like remember when 18 came out, they were like, forget everything between the original, between 78 and 18. Forget everything. I say we forget everything after the original, or maybe we can go part 2. Let's go part 2. We'll go 78 and then Halloween 2, and then forget everything after that, and we'll make a new one, and we'll just be like, well, Jamie Lee Curtis died off screen, and then have Michael Myers go after somebody else or whatever. I don't even care. Anything would be better than that bullshit that they gave us in Halloween Ends. Walmart been really bad with new releases. They have. Putting stuff on the shelves has been ridiculous. Let's see here. Speaking of Halloween 2007, your favorite of the franchise. Nice. Very cool. What I think would have been a lot better if he, instead of fucked up a childhood for Michael Myers, he grew up in a loving, caring home and still turned out to be killer, we all know. Yeah, no, and I mean, that's definitely plausible because there are so many kids that grow up in these perfect little homes and they turn out to be sick and twisted. So you could do that as well too. But here's the thing. I say this about movies is we can not like the way they made a movie, but we can't really say they made it wrong unless we have an established character line for like for every single character. We know their MO, we understand how they act, who they are, what drives them, what their purpose is. And so with Michael Myers, we understand he wants to kill any family members. So in order for him to want to kill any family members, we have to have a reason why. And yeah, you could make it that he loved them all and everything, but Rob Zombie chose to make the hillbilly dad and the stripper mom, and that's what he chose. It was his art, and I'm fine with that. I can't say it was wrong. I could say I liked it or didn't like it, like the Munsters. That was his movie. That's his art. I thought it was ugly. I thought it was stupid. I didn't like it, but it doesn't make it wrong. But and that's one of the fun things about talking about movies is, oh, if they would have done it this way, it'd be better or whatever. So I like the hypotheticals. That's cool. Let's see here. Is it true that a kid gets killed in Christmas Bloody Christmas? Let's see. Christmas Bloody Christmas was phenomenal. And yeah, I think the kid gets killed, right? I think we get a kid killed. I mean, we get Christmas Bloody Christmas. They killed a lot of people. That had a high body count, but that movie was phenomenal. And it wasn't like, here's the thing. I don't mind killing kids because here's the thing. In real life, people are sick and twisted, and there are a lot of victims that are kids. And so if you want to hit home with people and really make a movie that gets under somebody's skin, be mean to kids. And I know like folks like Master Chaos, he does not like when you mess with kids. I don't mind if you mess with kids. It's a movie. We're not condoning killing. We're not condoning anything that happens in horror movies. So what does it matter if it's why draw a line? Let's push that line as far as we can and make the most sick, twisted thing ever. And that's why it's not the best movie of all time. It's not like in the top 10, but a Serbian film is such a interesting movie because when you find out what happens to the kid, oh my God. I mean, you want to talk about pushing boundaries. That was it. I don't have a problem pushing boundaries in movies. It's a movie. Have you seen Breakdown 1997 Kurt Russell underrated thriller gem? I don't know. I would have to look at a trailer on that, Juno. I couldn't tell you. Let's see. Dr. Loomis shares multiple times that Michael Myers is not human. That what lies beneath those eyes is simply pure evil. Yeah, no, and we get that. We understand that. Especially in this newer franchise, that Michael Myers is not human. Yeah, we watched Gorman. It was cheesy, fun, but it lost me when they didn't know what kind of movie. Yeah, exactly. Dominic's in the house. What's up, Dominic? because of what happened with the Halloween trilogy. I don't have much hope in The Exorcist. Yeah, any remakes, man. I'm not looking forward to remakes. John Carpenter wanted to not make another Halloween. No, I know John Carpenter wanted to do the first one, and that was it. I don't even think he wanted to do the second one, but then they kind of pushed, so he got involved with it. That's why Halloween 3 happened the way it did. Yeah, no, and they were trying to, keep the franchise alive, run with the name, but something different. But in Halloween 3, it's not Halloween. If it was called something else, or if it wasn't supposed to be associated with Michael Myers franchise, then I'd be fine with that movie. But as it's like my feeling with Dr. Sleep. Dr. Sleep is a fine movie. As a sequel to The Shining, it can suck my butt. Sorry, had to get my Diet Coke fix. Cannot wait for Scream 6. I don't think they need Nev Campbell anymore. Just focus on Jenna Ortega. She's blown up. No, and Michael, and that's right. It is, a younger generation, and the target audience has to continuously get younger over time. I get that. But some of the characters to me, it's like taking Michael Myers out of Halloween. What are you going to do with that? It's like making a Friday the 13th without Jason Voorhees now. Okay, maybe in the first one we didn't need him, but after that we need him. Nev Campbell is just, to me, she's that big of a part of that franchise. We just, in some element, we just kind of need her. So a little frustrating. Feast 3, best child death ever. And I don't see, I've seen that, Jesse. I kind of want to watch the monsters now. All this talk about how bad it makes you curious. Yeah, well, don't spend any money on it. Stream it somewhere. I think you watch on Netflix, right? Did Christmas Bloody Christmas use practical effects? I think they did both. But there was definitely some practical effects in there. Heard Rob Zombie Monsters will be a little bit better in black and white. Yeah, the problem with it was the story was stupid. Sherry Moon Zombie is supposed to be playing a young Lily Munster, and she looks like she's 55. And the acting at times was not good. So to me, the problem wasn't with the colorization of it. It was the acting and the actors. Sherry Moon Zombie, I'm sorry, she is fine as Baby Firefly. She is not good as Lily Munster. You're at a Christmas party. Nice. Very cool. Serbian film. Goddamn, that's a heavy hitter. It really is a heavy hitter, right? Halloween Ends suck, but what was dumb where town folks blame Lori for Michael Rampage. Right. Yeah, no, them getting, because they were all rah behind her in kills, and then to be mad at her or whatever, it was like when they made Halloween Ends, it was like they totally forgot 2018 or Kills existed, and they just wrote a completely obscure script. Megan looked like the Child Play reboot. It looked bad. Megan, I think, is going to be insane. I think it's going to be a fun, goofy ride. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see. Have you seen French Disturbing Inside? You know what? We've talked about this before, and gosh. Oh, that's the one where she's pregnant and stuff, right? I have seen that. Yes. Yeah. I'm sad Nev Campbell won't be in Scream 6. Me too. I agree. Breakdown is awesome. Love it. Very cool. Nice. That was the other one I needed to write down, right? Note taken. A heavy hitter is one called I Stand Alone. That movie effed up after watching it. I Stand Alone, huh? Yeah, I don't think I've heard of that one either. Sherry Moon is 52. That makes me feel right. I know. Okay, so we are now going to jump into my so quick recap. Movies I liked this for 2022. Top Gun 2, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, The Batman, Elvis, The Black Phone, X, The Northman, The Outfit, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Emily the Criminal, and Barbarian. I thought those were great movies. Movies that pissed me off. We'll go from least to most. Thor Love and Thunder, Scream 5, Firestarter, Ghostbusters Afterlife can suck my butt, Halloween Ends can suck my butt, Prey can suck my butt, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre can suck my dirty butt. Yeah, hated those movies. Hated. And so let's talk about my favorite horror movies of the year. And again, I can't really put them in a list. as far as order here. Let me see. My favorite horror movie this year. Favorite horror movie this year is X. Yeah, because like I said, it is the best horror movie in the last 5 years. So that would definitely mean that it would have to be my favorite this year. So X definitely number one. Then after that, I would probably say and this is new movies. This is talking about new movies. I would probably say after that, Christmas, Bloody Christmas would be my second favorite horror movie this year. And then would be Barbarian would be my third favorite. And then because I haven't seen Pearl, so I can't rate Pearl, can't rate Violent Night, Bones and All, Pray for the Devil. But after Barbarian, I'm gonna say, gosh, Black Phone be number 4, and then Orphan First Kill is 5. Orphan First Kill was a great movie. I really enjoyed the Orphan First Kill. Thought as a backstory, as a prequel, phenomenal. I think they did a great job with First Kill. And then after that, horror movies that I've seen, the next would be Hellraiser, and then after Hellraiser, Terrifier 2. And then I still need to see Pearl, The Menu, Violent Night, Bones and All. So X, then Christmas, Bloody Christmas, then Barbarian, then The Black Phone, then Orphan First Kill, then Hellraiser. Those are my favorite horror movies that came out this year. Let's see here. Getting caught up again. Sherry's 52 makes you feel old. Yep, I think we said that already. Favorite 4K Blu-rays this year: Lost Boys, Texas Chainsaw 2, good one. Reservoir Dogs, yes, very good films right there. Yes, very, very good ones to get on 4K. Yeah, no, she's getting up there, man. Time flies and you just don't even realize it. But yep, 52, and she looks it. It's a sad thing. Coke Sonic's comments been up this whole time. Oh yeah, no, I know. Like sometimes I forget the comments there, and I got to take it down. Yeah, suck my butt, man. They got to suck my butt. That's what they got to do. I just really dislike all the woke transgender put into movies serves no purpose. And that here's the thing. And Blackbeard, so we're getting to a line that I don't like to cross when talking about that type of stuff. If it serves a purpose, put it in the movie. If not, don't put it in the movie. If you want to have a gay couple in a movie, fine. But do we need to see them making out? Not unless it serves a purpose. But if they're in the movie, fine. Anything in the movie should serve a purpose. And I remember Master Chaos said this a while back. And it's like, I'm going to watch a movie. I'm going to give you an hour and a half of my life here to watch this movie. Don't waste my fucking time. Put the stuff in the movie that continues moving the story forward. If it doesn't move the story forward, it's a waste of time. And that's what's so frustrating with stuff like that. Fonzo's in the house. What up, Fonzo? Man, I hope you have a happy new year and stay dry, man. This is going to be a wet weekend for us, which is a little unfortunate because I know a lot of people had plans to do like outdoor things and stuff like on New Year's, but it's going to be soggy down here in SoCal for the next couple days. Ernest Saves Christmas, and that's like one, I still haven't seen it. Just watch Ernest Saves Christmas, made you cry. Oh, because of Ernest passing away. Yeah. Yeah, it's one, I was never a big fan of the Ernest movies. I did not dislike them, but they didn't do much for me. I'm just not a big comedy fan. I do like comedies, but I'm just not a huge fan like horror or sci-fi or action. So the Christmas one is definitely one I'm going to have to check out. If not this year, next year for sure. Said it earlier, Hellraiser 22 is your favorite of this year. Ernest has been gone for a while now. Your top 3 horror movies in order are Scream 5, Terrifier 2, and The Black Phone. Very good choices there. Jim Varney, legend, yes. Carnage disagrees with you, Antonis. But that's the fun of this is agreeing to disagree and seeing what all we like. Are you looking forward to Deadpool 3? You think him and Hugh will pull off a classic? Hey, Deadpool movies are hysterical. And so I think, a third one is going to be great. Sepper. I it's not one that I'm like highly going like, oh, I cannot wait for that to get here. But it's definitely one I'm looking forward to checking out. And it could be, hopefully it's the best out of all of them. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see, right? But the first two were great. Legit saw Killer Clowns from Outer Space. You legitimately saw Killer Clowns from Outer Space? Hopefully they didn't kill anybody. But funny movie there, classic. And they're going to be coming out with a sequel. Black Bear with you 100%, but let's not talk about it here. Oh yeah, as far as the stuff in the movies, yeah, gotcha. They want to make children. Yeah, well, yeah, and I don't even want to, I don't. That's a tough road to go down. Yeah. Sorry to say, but that's what they want. They want to corrupt and mess around with kids' minds. There's, here's the thing: studios, when we're watching something they make, it's their movie, it's their product. They have the right to do whatever they want, whether we like it or not. If we don't like it, we just don't watch it. Doesn't mean they have to change what they're doing. It's unfortunate because sometimes it makes movies that, certain people won't like because of an influence or a certain thing they're projecting. But it's their movie. It's their money they spent to make it. It's their right to do what they want, whether we disagree or agree. And sometimes it's frustrating, but just is what it is. Thoughts on Friday the 13th 5. I think it's unfairly hated. James, it's funny because I've met one director from the Friday the 13th franchise, and it's the dude from Part 5. And forgive me for forgetting his name, but I got a picture with him. I was at that movie premiere with Wet Movie 1, and I got a picture with him. And why am I Part 3? Oh, come on. Why am I drawing a blank here? Come on. No, it's not that one. Why am I forgetting his name? But anyways, whoever directed Friday the 13th Part 5, I got a picture with him. He was at the movie premiere for, I don't even remember the name of that movie. It was the indie film that Wet Movie 1 and I were at. I got a picture with him. So Part 5, it bugged me because Part 5 bugged me because it was a copycat killer. And I'm not completely opposed to copycat killers, but like in the Saw franchise, the Hoffman movies are not nearly as good as, the original, where Jigsaw was truly the killer. But I don't know. It was okay. I don't hate it, but to me, in the Friday the 13th franchise, it's 1, 2, 4, 6, 3, 7, then 5. I would put them in that order as far as my favorites. But it's not a bad movie, but I just don't like the copycat killer element. Let's see here. OGP, favorite horror movie is X, Orphan First Kill, Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City, Black Phone, Halloween Ends. Nice. Good choices there. A couple I disagree with. Fonzo, no. I mean, the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie makes me angry. Like gets under my skin. It makes me angry. It's so bad. So bad. I absolutely hate that movie. There's so many things wrong with it. And like Fluffy always says, I always look at movies like from a filmmaker perspective, and so many flaws with that movie just pisses me off. So, and man, if you and Fonzo, if you haven't seen my review, if you want a good laugh, watch me. You go back and find my review of the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. I tear it a new asshole for about 20 minutes. I mean, no holds barred. I didn't. No, I think I did rip it pretty much as well as I ripped the Bumblebee, Murder Hornet movie Dustin Ferguson made. It's just, I didn't, yeah, Texas Chainsaw, man. Ooh, it made me mad. A year in review, baby. Happy New Year, man. What's up? Oregon this weekend is supposed to be dry, wet again on Monday. Wow. So it's backwards here. It's supposed to be wet down here the weekend and dry Monday. And that's funny. Being chilly. And Fluff, if you're still watching, do you see Paul? Fluff's brother Paul was in the chat here a little while ago saying what's up. And Paul is up there in the great state of Oregon with you, being chilly. Let's see. OG, have you not seen? No, I have not seen Ernest Saves Christmas. I have never seen it. No. Puller, how about Nope? Have I seen Nope? Nope. Do I want to see Nope? Nope. Have I heard anything good about Nope? Nope. So I'm good on Nope. Yeah, Nope to Nope. Nope to Nope. Yep. Let's see here. Not going to comment certain subjects that I think will script writing has suffered at this time. Kevin, I agree. And here's the thing: a lot of times it's not the script writing; it's what happens is a script gets written and they submit a story, and then the studios go, "Well, no, you have to include elements of this. It has to be inclusive. It has to be this and that and the other." And whether it's inclusive or not, if its story is good, a story is good. But then once you say, well, you have to tweak it to make it inclusive, then you're fucking up a good thing to make it inclusive or make it PC. And that is when movies go wrong. If you just make a movie, and that's where writers now, they're like, well, I have to make it inclusive. I can't make a movie the way I think it should be. It makes it tough. Here's the thing. If I'm going to make a movie about George Washington, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to go look for a minority to play the role of George Washington. I'm going to look for a guy who looked like George Washington to play that role. With movies, if we make a killer, if we, hey, Michael Myers, his mom, was white. His dad was white, whatever. So he's going to be a white guy. That's just the way it is. To go change things like that could be frustrating. But yeah, no, I think a lot of it might not necessarily be the script writing as much as it is the studio influence and having to have things changed. Because no matter what studio you work for, you might think you have a great script, and then they're going to be like, nah, you need to tweak this, you need to tweak that, or else they're not going to give you the money to make the movie. So unfortunately, it's just what it is. You are crazy. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the best movie since The Shining. What? Carnage, you bullshitting me, right? You are bullshitting me because no, the Shining. In fact, it's funny. I just watched The Shining like yesterday morning or day before, something like that. But I was watching it and then I had to like rewind to watch parts over again and everything. The Shining is a masterpiece, an absolute masterpiece. One of the greatest movies ever created, from the acting to the writing to the location to the effects, like every element about. And I mean, very, very, very minimal on the effects there, but there was some, the axe to the chest, things like that. There was some, but everything about that movie is great. And I even love like in the scene where Jack is locked in that storage room and you hear Grady outside talking to Jack going, well, Jack, we're losing faith in you. We thought you were going to take care of your wife. And Jack's like, well, just give me one more chance and I'll do it. And you see the containers of Calumet or whatever is on the shelf behind him. But both the containers, they have the little red Indian face on them. And they're both facing right at the back of Jack Torrance as you're watching it. And this is stuff, if you haven't seen Room 237, you have to watch it. You have to watch it. It's phenomenal. I love listening to all the different theories and ideas of why things are done or whatever. But it's like the Indians, they're pushing Jack into his madness, and just, but there's so many different things like with The Shining. Thank God it was made when it was, because I don't think it could be made today, because if you look at, some of the like undertones and things in it, like with, at the beginning of the movie, Jack Torrance is sitting there in the lobby waiting for the, the hotel manager guy to come out, all the luggage is behind him and everything. The family just got there. What is Jack Torrance reading? He's reading a Playgirl magazine. He's reading a magazine that's either for women or for gay guys. And he's sitting there reading Playgirl magazine. So was he bored? So he's like, whatever. Was that Kubrick going, let's just be funny. This will be funny. Or are we trying to say that, maybe Jack Torrance was gay and part of his problem, part of the hatred toward his wife and everything was that coming out of him. But then there's also elements in there where they kind of, Kubrick kind of makes, like, who's the good guy? Who's the good guy in the movie? Who's, the one with The Shining, who's laying in his bed in Miami, or wherever in Florida he was, the shine coming through from Danny about the bad things that are going on. So he realizes he has to get back to Colorado. Well, he's the good guy, right? He's coming to save the day, right? What's in his room? Naked girls, like showing he's straight. The good guy is straight. The bad guy is gay. That would not happen today. Whether that is a theory you want to run with or not, that would not happen today. You could not make the good guy the straight guy and the bad guy the gay guy. You could not do that today. Like it or not, that's the way it was. But no, man, you're shining, man. You get me on a rant there. Your Unsane rant review is great this year. You're awesome and awesome. You tear that movie new one. No, Unsane, man. Oh my goodness, that movie was frustrating. And that's, you know what? I did not do a list of movies that I hated that I watched that were old. I have still a list here, another one to go down, and this is old movies that I watched for the first time this year. I have a list in order that I'll talk about those, but I did not do a list of movies that were old that I hated. I did not do one of those. Maybe I should have, but I didn't think about it. But man, that movie pissed me off. Dry meaning won't be pouring rain. Oh, Kevin. yeah. No, dry in Oregon is not flooding, right? Do you think the people who created Fast and the Furious got inspiration from the movie The Wraith? I don't know. And a separate, and I can only say I don't know because I've only ever seen like the first 10 or 15 minutes of the first Fast and the Furious movie. And then I made Fluffy turn it off because it was pissing me off. I don't like the franchise. I thought it was hokey. I did not care. And then especially like down the road when, we're adding The Rock to the cast and we're getting these, big famous cast members. But then we're driving cars out of the back of flying airplanes and supposedly landing them. Kiss my ass. It's not going to happen. So I had a hard time with that. Can you imagine Married with Children coming out today? I know it wouldn't be what it was nearly. Texas Chainsaw finally has a massacre scene in it. Come on. No, but here's the thing. Fonzo. So with that massacre that happened, we saw it like, okay, on the bus. If you're talking about the bus scene, right? Why did the girl, when she was running off the bus and she could have got away if she would have went out the door, why did she stop and go out the window next to the door so she could get cut in half? This is what was so stupid about that. If she would have walked one more row forward, she could have got out the door of the bus and ran. The door wasn't locked. She could have got out the door and ran. But no, we make her go out the window just so we can cut her in half. And then in the middle of that massacre, you have the girl laying under the seats, having the flashbacks to her the high school shootings, and all that was. And I'm going to go on a bit of I'm going to walk the line here for a second. So apologize. Please accept my forgiveness here. Please forgive me for this. When she is having her, oh my God, flashback to the school shooting, that is clearly an anti-gun, a liberal influence on that movie, whether you are pro-guns or not. That was an anti-gun statement right there when we had to stop the massacre to go to her little flashback. And I'm just like, fuck you and your politics and your movie. So that pissed me off because that happened right in the middle. The insanity that was going on in the bus was cool until that. And then the girl stopping short one row of the front of the bus and going out the door and trying to get out the window. So she got chopped in half. There was so much wrong with it. So much wrong with it that yeah, we got blood and guts. And that's what, like Fat Samurai guy, he's like, oh no, it was great. We got so much killing and blood and guts and gore. And that's all we cared about. Well, if that's all you care about, fine. But for me, I need a story. I need it to make sense. I hate watching movies that don't make sense. And it made no sense. Like when the girl, they're like these strangers, right? And this lady who they hate. And then she's like, oh, I'm going to hop in the van with these strangers and go to town with her in the hospital to make sure she's okay. But like a few minutes before, they basically wanted her dead. Why the fuck is she going to get in the van and go to the hospital with them? She wanted him dead. I mean, it made no sense. And then she gets in the van and presumably like 15 minutes have gone by because they're driving down the road. Then we cut back to the people at the little, it's supposed to be that little town. It's supposed to be run down and everything, but it's clearly a movie set that's like, in pretty good shape. Doesn't look run down at all. And then we cut back to them and they already have a barbecue spread. And I don't know if you've ever smoked some meat or anything, but that shit takes like hours, not like 15 minutes. And they already had the barbecue spread all set up and everything. It just like none of it jived. That movie, it was so bad on so many levels. Texas Chainsaw just pissed me off more and more and more as I watched that movie. The Shining is tier 1 horror. Not many horror movies on the same level as that or even the same ballpark. I'm with you. There are not many that can even sniff The Shining. Yeah. I never noticed he was reading The Playgirl. Yeah, no, Carnage, you need to watch Room 237. A movie is phenomenal. It will open your eyes. It will make you want to watch The Shining 4 or 5 times in a row, back to back to back, just to notice the different little things. Watch Room 237. It will open your eyes to a lot of stuff you don't pick up on. There's some really good docs on Eyes Wide Shut as well. Kubrick was a genius. Exactly. And that's, I mentioned it like one of the last live streams. I could watch Kubrick interviews. I could watch people talk to Kubrick all day long. And one of my favorite autographs I have is up here, and I wish I could reach you right now and show you. But it's a picture of Shelley Duvall smiling, Kubrick right next to her looking at Shelley Duvall smiling, and I got it signed by Shelley Duvall. The idea that both of them could be shining in the same, or shining could be listen to me, the idea that both of them could be smiling in the same picture tells you that picture must have been taken like early on in the production, because we know by the end of it, Kubrick pushed Shelley Duvall so far that basically drove her into a life of like depression and anxiety and stuff. And, it's really impacted her life. So, at the end of that movie, they were not on good terms at all. So I love the fact that this is them both sitting there together, smiling. It's absolutely phenomenal. And so, but yes, Kubrick was just a genius. Yes. And I even love in The Shining, the shot that they take at Stephen King in it with, the VW bug. They're going up the hill. The bug is yellow, but I think what in Stephen King's, it's like red or blue or something. I forget. But when dude is on the way in the snow in a little snowmobile up to, and why am I forgetting his name? The black guy, not Grady, but Haller. I can't. I'm drawing a blank right now. But anyways, when he's on the way up the mountain, you see the car accident with the like VW crushed. Well, the VW that was crushed was the same color as Stephen King's VW that written in the book. So it's kind of like a little shot at Stephen King, because we all know Kubrick did not like Stephen King. But yeah, Kubrick was a genius, absolute genius. What is your guilty pleasure movie? Mine is Howard the Duck. Robert, okay, a good guilty pleasure. Howard the Duck is a good one. That is a great movie. So for me, if I'm thinking like out of the box guilty pleasure movie, that's tough. For me, if I'm like, if there's nothing else on and I don't feel like watching something new or whatever, usually I'm going to The Shining or I'm going to Silence of the Lambs, like one of those two. I've watched, I cannot even begin to count how many times. I wouldn't hesitate to say that I've seen each one of those movies at least 50 times. I just absolutely love them. But other movies I've watched a lot. Here's the thing. Anything Mel Brooks, Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, stuff like that, anything like that would definitely be some. If I'm flipping around, I'm stopping dead in my tracks right there. 1 minute till New Year's Eve. Oh, sorry, I'm a little bit behind. So it is officially New Year's Eve for everybody in California, everybody on the mainland now. Hawaii is still not there yet. A couple hours away for Hawaii. And probably about 4 hours away in Australia now, from actually being 2023. So crazy. Time is moving on really quickly here. I love Friday 5 because of the body count and the cool parts and the Scream Factory set. Yeah. So Clint, okay. The body count and all that stuff. And there's so much of it that is good and everything, but just there's some parts in, the whole copycat thing. And yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad, but I love it. There's definitely some great elements to that movie and good reasons to watch it. If you're gonna go binge Friday the 13th, that is definitely not one you skip. And it's definitely better than like Jason versus Freddy or anything like that. Any of those last like 3 or 4 movies. They're doing a Willy Wonka prequel next year. Yeah, I heard some rumor about something like that. And yeah, I don't know. The whole Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Johnny Depp, I didn't even like, I was Johnny Depp. I didn't even care about that. To me, that like, just leave Willy Wonka alone. Texas Chainsaw was great, better than New Hellraiser and Halloween. So I'll give no, I can't. No, I can't. Texas Chainsaw to me, in my opinion, it was like I would rewatch the new Halloween. I would rewatch Halloween 2 or 3 times before I'd watch Texas Chainsaw again. That movie made me so mad because characters make dumb decisions all the time. No, they do, and Fonzo, and that's what like that stuff drives me nuts. We don't need characters to make bad decisions. That's not. It's lazy writing. When jump scares and bad decisions are lazy writing. You look at like Wendy Torrance in The Shining, and I know we're talking about Shining a lot, but look at Wendy Torrance. What did she do? She got the bat before she went to confront Jack. She was armed. He came at her. She knocked him out. She dragged him. She locked him up. Smart, smart, smart. And then he gets out and she's trying to get away. Why didn't she leave ahead of time? Why was she still there? Because Jack sabotaged she couldn't leave. So, and she couldn't get on the phone to radio anybody. She was stuck there. So she didn't make bad decisions. She was trying to, get away, save her life. That's what is so brilliant about it. That's why it's so good. The bad decision movies, they're hard for me to really get behind. And that's like one of the knocks on Barbarian. Like the girl's out and then she's like, oh my God, but the guy's in there. I'm like, oh, this movie was so good. Now fuck you. Like, you're out, you're free. Don't voluntarily go back in. You were trying so hard to get out. And now you're like, oh my God, we got to go back. No, fuck you. If those cops don't want to listen to you, go to the FBI, go down the road to the next town, go wherever you can go to get help. Don't go back in the house. Dumb decision. That pissed me off. We don't need dumb decisions. To me, that's just lazy writing. Screw Fast and Furious, spawned a generation of idiots that can't drive for shit, right? Everybody thinks now that they drive like, oh, I could drive like Fast and Furious. I could jump a car or whatever, right? It's funny. I thought the new Hellraiser was too polished. The original is a masterpiece. James, I agree with you. The original is a masterpiece. The original Hellraiser is one of the great horror movies of all time. The new one is kind of polished. I understand what you're saying. I cannot disagree with you on that. My big problems with the new one, because it's 2022, it's going to be polished. My big issues were with it just dragged too much. I don't think it didn't offend me and it didn't step on the toes of the original. So I was okay with it, but yeah, I get what you're saying with it being polished. No, I'm ranting, Jesse. I'm ranting. I don't breathe. I rant and I drink Diet Coke and then we go. And that's what we do. What horror movie does a character make a good decision? Well, like I just said, Shining, Silence of the Lambs, you look at Clarice, she made pretty good decisions, and I mean, there's, the girl who doesn't know that this is a killer and helps him load a chair or whatever into his van. And then she gets stuck, but she didn't know this guy was a killer. So I don't think there was really bad decisions in that movie. They're out there. I just, me thinking of movies off the top of my head, I'm horrible at. But I could go maybe make a list at some point, talk about them. The Exorcist, let's see, welcome to the last day of the year, and every year, it's not the last day of every year, just the last day of this year. The Exorcist on 4K Blu-ray, I'm more looking forward than Blumhouse Exorcist reboot. Yeah, the Exorcist reboots are always scary, always scary. Halloran, thank you. That's what I was like. I was getting close there, but thank you. Which version of Wicker Man do you prefer? Not Nicolas Cage. Yeah, not Nicolas Cage. Hannibal or Red Dragon? Ooh, tough. Well, no, not really. Red Dragon, I think, clear. So in that franchise, Carnage for Justin, I got to go Silence of the Lambs #1, then Red Dragon, then Hannibal, then Manhunter, then Hannibal Rising. And if you want to put the TV show in the middle of that too, I would say, and not the Clarice TV show, that show had its moments, but the Clarice TV show, I hope it comes back for another season at some point and corrects itself, because it was too PC. But Clarice had potential. I was looking forward to seeing a season 2. But the Hannibal TV show, I would say I would go Silence of the Lambs, then Red Dragon, probably then the Hannibal TV show, then the Hannibal movie, then Manhunter, and then Hannibal Rising, and then Clarice, in that order, in the Hannibal universe there. A guilty pleasure is Amityville 4, The Evil Escape. It's a bad TV sequel made to sequel movie to. It's a bad. Hold on. A guilty pleasure is Amityville 4, The Evil Escape. It's a bad TV sequel movie to bad TV sequel movie to movie. But I always have a guilty pleasure watching that movie. Hey, and that's, you know what? There, that's, I got no issue with that. There's a franchise you love, and if there's, one, like if I'm going to go, I want to watch Friday the 13th. If I'm not going to watch the first one, I'm probably going to 4. Then I'm probably going to 6, even though I think 2 is the second best. I'm probably going to 4 at first. So I get it. Original Wicker Man is the best. Yep. Happy New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's Eve to you and everybody out there hanging out with us. Let's see. And Antonis, how would you not prefer Nicolas Cage, the Wicker Man? Or maybe Carnage, just kidding. For 2023, I'm going to have to work to lose weight and try and save money. Brent Mania, that goes for a lot of us. Oh, man, I'm telling you, I definitely need to drop a few pounds. That is for sure. What is the best background movies when you have a party? One of mine is Critters or Tremors. Oh, those are good. Yeah, I could see that. Most people ask questions on what movie is this. Oh, that's funny. Background. So here's the thing. If I'm having a party, I don't want TV or movies on at all. If I'm having a party, just music. Because if you have a party and you put a movie on, then people usually start sitting down and hovering around the TV, and then they stop being social. And the idea of people coming over is to be social, to talk to each other. And that is a lost art in this world. Everybody likes to text and everything. We could do that later on. When I get people together, I'd rather not have the TV on at all. Did they bring Gene Wilder back from the dead? If not, why bother with Willy Wonka? Being chilly, I agree with you. To me, a guilty pleasure is the Amityville sequels, Curse films from the Evil Escape to Dollhouse are so bad. I always have guilty pleasure watching them and have the BS box set. Oh, nice. See, and here's the thing. I'm not saying because a movie's bad, like you shouldn't watch it or I won't watch it or whatever. I know that there's bad movies. There's bad, like, for example, let me get it right here. Here is a bad movie that I actually enjoy and I will watch probably many times. New York Ninja. This is a horrible movie, but it's fun. I like watching it. So, just because it's bad doesn't mean you should not watch it. But for me, bad movies are movies that get under my skin and make me upset. And the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie pissed me off. Being chilly. Yeah, thank you. Hey, everybody, if you wouldn't mind, that'd be cool. If you're here and haven't yet, please hit that thumbs up button. It really helps the algorithms get the channel out there. Speaking of New Year's Eve, do you know any December 31 birthdays or January 1st birthdays? I do not. Here's the worst horror movie you could ever watch. Skin Deep. You will break your TV. Okay. Well, we'll see. If it's that bad, I'll turn it off first. I don't want to break TVs. I agree with the Fast and Furious. The Wraith did it first. Okay, nice. That's cool. So, gosh, maybe I'll have to watch a Fast and the Furious, movie all the way through or something one of these days. Is Bloody New Year or New Year's Evil better? New Year's recommendations. James, I love New Year's Evil, and it's funny. I own it right here. But I when I watch it, I stream it. It's still factory sealed. But I love New Year's Evil. This to me is the best New Year's movie out there. I would definitely go with this. If you're gonna pick one or the other, you got to go New Year's Evil. 100%. I would definitely go with that. I'll put that back up there. It's not gonna go. let's see, is Bloody New Year. Oh, we just went through that. You like Bloody New Year's? Okay. All right. I like New Year's Evil and I haven't seen it. All right. Thomas. Yeah, we got bots. Block them. New Year's Evil is just, to me, I just absolutely love it. I just absolutely love the movie. Let's Collect Video Games. Good morning, OGP. Happy New Year from Amsterdam. Decent, nice. From Amsterdam. So yeah, it's got to be what about is it Amsterdam? Probably about 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning over there. Boy, that's because you got to be at least like 9 hours ahead of us, right? Is it 9, 10, something like that? Very cool. From Amsterdam. Decent. Hey, Amsterdam, have a very happy New Year. Party it up. Be safe. But have a happy New Year over there. How would you rank the Paranormal Activity movies? So Thomas, I'll be completely honest with you. Let me pull this out right here. I got something over here. So I've seen the first one and it was pretty good. And I've seen one of the others. I don't even remember which one it is, but I recently picked up the 6-movie collection. And I know there's one more that's not here, but I just got this. Or there is one more. There's another one coming or whatever. I think there's one more. There's a new one, right? But I have yet to binge this. I need to get through and binge this. I've seen bits and pieces of the others, but I haven't seen them all. I know the first one, and there was another one that I watched. I just can't remember which one it was at this point. It was just on TV at one point. So I can't rate them, but you know what? That is something I'm going to make a note and I'm going to leave it out here. And I've been meaning to watch those the Paranormal Activity movies so I could do like a ranking of them. And in fact, and I did, like, I binged all the Friday the 13th movies a while back and went to go do a rank. I can't remember if I ever did that video or not. But that's one of those that I need to get in there and binge them. But the first one, it's good. I liked it. But it was a franchise that at the time I was like, okay, this is good, but do I need more? I don't know if I need more. Kind of like Final Destination. The first one was great. After that, I didn't have any interest in seeing any more of them. So I haven't. But I got the Final Destination box set here too. So that's another one I need to go binge and get caught up on. Have you seen Liars, Liars, Liars with Paul Giamatti? That sounds so familiar. I like Paul Giamatti. I can't remember. Is that a comedy? Do you still have beef with Vinegar Syndrome? So technically, yes, and my beef with Vinegar Syndrome is their website is misleading. And I was on the Black Friday special on Master Chaos channel, and What Movie One and some other people at the time were like trying to order movies from Vinegar Syndrome, and they didn't know if they were going to come with the slipcover, because their website is so misleading and so hard to understand. You're going to tell me it says standard edition, but I still see a picture of the slipcover. Is the standard edition come with that slipcover? How would I know that it wouldn't when it says standard edition, but I see the slipcover? How would I know as somebody, who doesn't work there? How do I know that standard edition doesn't include that slipcover? And then you see special edition slipcover. How do I know that that's not just a different slipcover? I don't know. And so I emailed them after I ordered some stuff and didn't get slips. And I was like, your site is confusing. You need to address this. And they basically, whatever name is in the office there, was like, basically told me, sorry, tough shit. And so I feel like they're misleading. And I did a whole rant video on it where we went on like Best Buy's website, for example. If you go on Best Buy's website and you're going to buy, let's just say you go on Best Buy's website and you're like, I'm going to buy Psycho Gorman. But no, I want Psycho Gorman with the slipcover. It will be a different listing. You'll see this one, you'll see the price, and that's it. You want to see the one with the slipcover? It'll be a different listing with a different price. It won't have the picture of the slip in that listing for the one that doesn't come with the slip. And Vinegar Syndrome does, and shame on them. So that's why they're shady in their sales tactics. They're trying to get people to buy stuff, and then when they buy it and they go, "Oh, sorry, tough shit. That the slipcover sold out, but you could return them if you want." Screw you. I would have bought the one with the slipcover originally had I known that. and not pick the wrong one, and now you're sold out of them. So I'm screwed. I just don't like it. I don't like it. And plus Vinegar Syndrome, man, so many of their movies suck ass, like it, but Severin is guilty too. And a lot of these companies put out bad movies. So that's all fine. It's all fine in that end, but just their sales tactics. I'm not good with Vinegar Syndrome yet. You like Paranormal Activity 1 and 3. Nice. Well, very cool. I'll be looking forward to checking out part 3 then. The Mark ones, a Paranormal Activity is your favorite. Okay, nice. When you watch Fast and Furious 1, take in mind the year and the era it was made and represented. Imagine yourself in the perspective of the main target audience. See, and that's my problem is I was already older, I think, than the target audience. Like I grew up like Fluffy Gamer and I remember like back in the day, we used to go to the street races, and that was like, and this is like 10, 15 years before Fast and Furious ever came about. Like Fluffy had a Mustang. I had a Camaro. Like we would be out at street races doing this stuff. And then this movie came out and it was just like, it was so, I understand the target audience. I'm not mad at those movies. I just don't like them. I just don't like them. Have you ever seen Original Black Christmas? Yes, I have. And in fact, Let's Collect Video Games. I just watched it again a few days ago, and I loved it just as much now as I always did. I love the twist of certain characters getting killed that you kind of thinking are not going to get killed. And the fact that the killer is in the house the whole time, and that as the audience, but they don't know that. So you're like, oh shit, get out of the house. But they're just there. The killer's there. And so it is, it's a good one. The Original Black Christmas is one of the best Christmas horror movies out there. Sorry, my mistake. That movie I was asking you is called Big Fat Liar with Paul Giamatti. And gosh, I'd have to look it up and see. What are you doing on New Year's Day, Antonis? That is a good question. New Year's Day is what? Is that Monday? No, it's Sunday. On New Year's Day, I don't know, watching football, probably just watching football. Then Monday, we have the OGPs. It's basically the movie news, but it's OGP's giveaway. The every Monday's a giveaway show, so we're doing that Monday. And then I got some things going on after that. You guys might be excited. A lot of something that you all have been asking for a while might finally happen on Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. Somebody may be able to throw me a super chat to jump in a freezing cold pool if you so desire, like Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm not sure yet, but that's in the cards, possibly going to happen this coming week. Went through the studio while they were filming Big Fat Liar and saw some of the sets they had. None of the actors. Oh, nice, Kevin. That's awesome. And back in the day, I used to go to see tapings a lot of Conan O'Brien or The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, seen, Craig Ferguson a bunch. Trying to think of some of the other shows that I've gone and seen. I've seen like way back in the day, Carson Daly, when he was doing his show from the Saturday Night Live set. I went and saw him there. So I got to go sit in the Saturday Night Live set. That was awesome. And there's some other shows that I've gone and seen live tapings of around LA. And then when you're there, you get to see some, other sets or whatever. And I remember being there once and I was with a guy in a wheelchair. And so we got a special ride in on like a little golf cart. And we had time to kill. So the guy was like, well, you want to go take a look around? So we drove around, got to go see the whole like Warner Brothers back lot, and everything was badass. And that day, Clint Eastwood was filming Jersey Boys. And Clint Eastwood had this big, like one of those towers, but it's like a chair on top for a director, because he was looking over the scene out in the street with all the extras out in the street. And, kind of like in that like downtown alley area thing. And we saw Clint Eastwood up on top of this, gigantic director's chair thing. That was really cool being there on that set. And so many different sets there on that back lot, from TV shows like the original Batman and just all kinds of different things. But then another cool time, a really, really cool experience. myself, my wife, Fluffy, and I think another friend of us, I think it was Marcus, was with us. We were in line to see Conan O'Brien, and it was like the first or second week that he was filming his show from LA when he was doing, I think it was just, it wasn't the Tonight Show, right? It was just Late Night with Conan O'Brien. No, it was when he started at TBS. It was when Late Night, when Conan started his TBS show, like the first week or two. And we're standing in line. Well, Conan's studio was right next to the Big Bang Theory studio. And so is it Simon and Kunal? You know, you know, not the main two characters, but the Indian dude and the other, I say nerdy guy, they're all nerdy. But I think it was Simon and whatever their names are. But two of the cast members from Big Bang Theory were just standing there outside, just like talking, bullshitting next to their car. And we were like 5 feet away from them. And the show was so new at that point, nobody in line was like recognizing them. And we didn't have our cell phones. You had to leave them in the car and everything. But I kind of recognized, I was like, I think those are the guys from that show. And then we went home and looked, and sure enough, it was like, yeah, oh my God, they're from Big Bang Theory. And then, you know, then I started watching it after that and kind of got into the show. It's okay. It's not the greatest show ever, but it was funny. But some cool stuff like that, man. We some cool, fun stories of doing stuff around LA and movie studios. It's always fun. What are your favorite horror remake that was better than the original? The Hills Have Eyes. Hills Have Eyes is a good one. A horror remake that's better than the original. That is tough. Yeah, I can't even think of one that I like better than the original. I would probably no. Maybe Suspiria. We talked about that already. That's the only thing I could think. Gosh, that's the only thing I could really think. Do you know any horror movies that where hot young women get killed? No, never heard of a horror movie where hot young women get killed. Tonas, never. I live in Ohio, but I'm not far from the Michigan-Indiana borders. Anyway, used to, but the last couple years I haven't used to do the polar bear plunge. Ooh. At Indiana, at Hamilton Lake. Ooh, no, man. Brent Mania, never. Too cold for me. No way. Man, speaking of Ohio and in Indiana and Michigan, so you're like kind of up there. But man, when I went to Ohio last year and went through Indianapolis, I was like dying because I'd never had Skyline chili before, and I wanted to have Skyline chili, and I saw one in Indy, and I was like, oh, I'm stopping for this. And then like the rest of the time I was in Ohio, I was just like, I just want Skyline chili. I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. What are your thoughts on 2009 Friday the 13th reboot film? The Friday the 13th reboot, not as bad as a rap as it gets, I think, but not nearly as good as the first. You know, like it would be, I would still rate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Everything up to Jason Takes Manhattan, I would put ahead of that reboot still. Lots of scenes from Big Fat Liar were filmed on Universal Backlot. Oh, nice. That's cool. Have you ever had a paranormal experience, David? So I've had a couple interesting things happen. Whether they're paranormal or not is kind of questionable. So like I've had like what I believe are after family members have passed away, they've reached out to me, or I've seen things that have convinced me that they've reached out to me. You know, something happened with my grandfather. When my grandfather passed away, this is 5 years ago. I went to bed that night, and it was my grandmother's birthday. I went to bed, and you know, I'm at home, they're at their house, whatever. I went to bed, and I woke up the next morning to my phone ringing, like 6 o'clock in the morning, maybe even early, maybe 5 something. And my phone was ringing, and it was my dad. And I'm like, oh shit. And my dad calling me that early in the morning, I was worried something happened to my mom. And you know, he tells me that my grandfather had passed away. And I'm like, oh crap. But have you ever had those dreams where, or it feels like a dream, but you don't remember it. But then when you wake up, it's like, it all comes back to you. So the minute the phone was ringing, I woke up and I just, it was like, I just remembered having this dream where my grandfather was telling me I needed to reconnect with my older brother and patch up my relationship. And I hadn't talked to my older brother in like maybe like 7 years or something, a long, long time. And it was like I was having a dream that my grandfather was telling me I needed to reconnect with my older brother. And it was important. And then for the phone to ring and it to be my dad saying that my grandfather had passed away like 3 hours before, I was like, no way. So I believe that he passed and he came to me and said, like, you need to reconnect with your brother. And he'd been trying to get me and my brother to patch up our relationship for years. So I just kind of chalked it off as that. But then after he passed away in October, in April, we found out my mom had terminal brain cancer and that my mom was dying. Then it all made so much more sense that my grandfather came to me and told me to patch my relationship up with my brother so that my mom could pass away peacefully, because he must have known that she was sick, when he crossed over. And that's, I believe that in my heart of hearts. I believe that he crossed over and he reached out to me. So do I believe in afterlife? Do I believe in paranormal things? Yes. Can I sit here and say that, the Bible is completely correct, or the Book of Mormon's completely correct, or the Quran, however you say it, is completely correct? Can I say that the Jews are correct? I don't know. Religion is so distorted by human fingerprints all over. And so I don't know, but do I believe there's something after we leave this world? I really wholeheartedly do. Another experience, like 2-3 days after Fluffy's mom passed away, and me and Fluffy been tight forever. I was tight with his mom, and 2 days after 2-3 days after Fluffy's mom passed away, might have been, because she passed away, we found out, and then like the next day gone by, and then it was like early the next morning. I'm driving down the freeway, and I got my cell phone sitting up on the dash, and all of a sudden I'm driving down the freeway and a song starts playing, and there was no rhyme or reason why. I didn't touch my phone, I didn't turn on the music player or anything. It just started playing this song. The song that it started playing was a song that me and Fluffy and his mom made. And I mean, she just was really fun. I mean, so if you don't know the story, back in the day, me and Fluffy, I've put some of this out there. I have put some of this out there. But me and Fluffy did like make music. We were like gangster rappers back in the day, in the 90s, in the early 2000s. So we had a bunch of rap songs that me and Fluffy put out, and or made, I should say made, not put out, made. And one of those songs, just driving down the road, and that fucking song just started playing on my phone as I'm driving down the road. It was sitting over there. I wasn't touching it at all. It just came to life and started playing the song that me, Fluffy, and his mom were in. And that messed me up. And that was like, she passed away. Fluffy was unfortunately like up at Knott's Berry Farm, and he was coming home. He got a call. His mom was in the hospital. He went to the hospital, and she passed. And that was in the evening. And I think so, not like, that night, but I think like the following night, late night, was when I was driving down the freeway and that happened. So just crazy stuff. There's other things that I could really get into, and maybe we'll do another show where we talk all paranormal stuff. I would love to do that. I know many gave Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull a lot of bad rap, but I always have a soft spot for it. And Harrison Ford was still kicking ass as Indiana Jones. Definitely found it underrated movie. Juno, here's the thing. I know people got pissed off at that movie, and but for me, I was fine with it. I didn't care. I'm looking forward to the new Indiana Jones movie. I don't have a problem. I think Raiders of the Lost Ark is my favorite. Temple of Doom second. Then beyond that, whatever, toss up the others. But yeah, I know people are mad at it, but not me. Brett Mania, what's your favorite place to go eat in Las Vegas? Do you have it go to that's not your area that you go to every time? Do you have it? Brett Mania, I'm kind of getting the gist of your question there, I think. So, but I have a couple different favorite places in Vegas. When it comes to Mexican food, this is funny because my favorite Mexican food place is this place called El Burrito. Like it'd be like El Taco or El Quesadilla, but it's El Burrito. They make the most phenomenal chimichangas, and they cover them in guacamole and shredded beef inside. It's amazing. So El Burrito is my favorite Mexican place. My favorite, in Italian, we're up in the air. For pizza places, by far, bar none, is Giordano's, which is really is like out of Chicago, but they have 2 locations in Vegas now, and I love Giordano's. That's my favorite pizza place there. So those 2 for Mexican and pizza. Then Italian, my favorite place, my favorite food there in Vegas, Italian, is probably Piero's, which is the restaurant that was used in the movie Casino, where Joe Pesci's character, remember, owned a restaurant. That was the restaurant from the movie Casino. I went there and had probably the best meal of my life. It was a veal shank that was, that veal peeled apart like butter. It was amazing and probably the best ever. But the place that Cinestalker and I went to, I think it's called Capo's. That place is really good too. Really enjoyed that place. But those 4 are definitely places that if I'm there, I like to go to. As far as like a more common, just kind of chill place, there's a place, and I think they're originally out of New York City called Cafe Zupas. And you go in there and you get there's like sandwiches, soup, or salads, and you could do a combo where you pick 2 of each or whatever. But it's a healthy place and great food. Cafe Zupa, love that. Also, don't eat there all the time because Fluffy won't touch anything. If I'm out there with Fluff, we just skip it. But love that. There's lots of good choices out there in Vegas. One more thing about Halloween Ends, they pretty much remade John Carpenter Christine, Corey as Arnie, and Michael as Christine Carr. But Carpenter film is still better than Halloween. That's interesting, huh? I never thought of it that way, I remember when you and Danny were at a park and the swing started swinging by itself. That's creepy, right? No, we're out there. We're looking for like paranormal stuff. And that park was, supposedly that happens. So, yeah, man, and that's what I love going and looking for, like the paranormal stuff. Definitely. Was outside recently. If your grandpa died, he used to snort and make a snorting sound. Anyway, I heard snorting sound. I heard everything's okay up here, and that freaked you out, but it was his voice. No way. Yeah. And see, and that's the thing. And here's the thing, like the human mind, we want to convince ourselves, like if we see like a pattern in, a piece of toast or something like that, we want to convince ourselves that it's the Virgin Mary or it's Jesus Christ or whatever. That's the way the human mind is programmed. We see something, we like to associate it. Is it our imagination? Is it the truth? Are we stretching things? Who knows? But when you have something like what you've experienced or like what I experiencing, or experience like with my grandfather and stuff, it is just, to me, it's too overwhelming to ignore and chalk it off as coincidence. But that's the way the human mind is designed, to try and make things coincidental. OGP, love chatting your live show before you go to work. How would you rank the Ghostbusters? So For me, I would say the first Ghostbusters 1, then Ghostbusters 2, then the Ghostbusters cartoon. And I don't know if there was any other. Was there just the one Ghostbusters cartoon, or was there any other Ghostbusters cartoon? But it would be the first one, the second one, then the cartoon, then Ghostbusters Afterlife, and then the 2016 travesty. And I don't just say that because they're women. It's just the overacting and the cheesy goofiness. There were some funny moments, but all in all, like, what the fuck are we doing? You know, the whole ending, you know, oh, we're gonna cross the streams. Fuck off, you know. So yeah, it would be 1, then 2, then the cartoon, then the new one, and then 16. Do you have any scary sleep paralysis stories? Not for me. I've never had that. Like Fluffy in his sleep, he could control. He goes and flies around in his dreams and stuff. I cannot control anything that happens in my dreams, nor have I ever had something, you know, like that happen to me. I just remembered yesterday watching your old video where you're dumpster dive in GameStop. Yeah. No, there was a lot of those. There was a steakhouse on the old strip that had the best steak you've ever had, but cannot remember the name of it. So being chilly. So you're talking downtown on Fremont Street. There's a couple steakhouses down there. A couple of them have closed, and I think they're mostly like newer ones now. So the one you're thinking of, if it was more than within the last couple of years, it probably is not there anymore. It probably was replaced. What are your thoughts on movies being produced by Netflix? Netflix produced movies typically suck. I like movies that just make their way to Netflix, but when Netflix typically has their hands on them, they suck. Netflix does a good job with series, but when they make their own movies, they're usually not good. So yeah. I don't know. Original Ghostbusters and the real Ghostbusters are the two cartoons. Okay. And so, and it's been so long since I've seen either of those being Chile, I wouldn't remember what the differences were. I wouldn't really remember at this point. Pick for the national championship matchup. And you know, forgive me, I don't even know, have they played the two playoff games to get into the championship yet? Let's see, NCAA college football playoff. So scores. So let's see. So we have so TCU and Michigan and Ohio, Georgia are all tomorrow. Okay. So I think Georgia's going to win that game. Georgia's just heads and toes above everybody else. And I'm kind of rooting for Michigan. I don't really have a rooting interest in TCU or Michigan, but I like the Harbaugh brothers. And so I'd like to see Jim Harbaugh be able to get a national championship. And I think Michigan, Georgia would be the best two teams in the country. And but I think Georgia's probably going to win. I think Georgia's probably going to take it all. The world is filled with synchronous anomalies and sense that shows us there's another layer dimension out there. No, separate. You're right, and that's where it's things, the human mind, like, we're so easily persuaded or confused or misguided and stuff, and sometimes we're taught to write things off and everything. So you really, if you just take things with a grain of salt, like, you might miss something in life that might have been an important message to you or something. I don't know. But there's so much out there that we don't understand, and it is very interesting. What movie you're looking forward to next year? For you, it's Saw 10. So next year, man, definitely Indiana Jones. Looking forward to the Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Looking forward to Cocaine Bear. I definitely Saw. And there's a couple others. We ought to get through that. I still got to get through the list of movies that I watched that weren't new here. So I should say a couple more chats and a couple more chats here, and then we'll get into that. Sean 420, what's up? Happy New Year to you. Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful New Year and much success in the new year. Shit, it was 20 years ago, but the steak was that good. No, and hey, and that's what I'm telling you. I remember The veal shank that I had, I mean, that's probably been 6 or 7 years ago now, but it was like, I'll never forget it. It was amazing. Slimer had a spinoff. Oh, really? Oh, that's funny. I see. Maybe I kind of remember something like that. The original had the giant ape sidekick. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember that. It's been way too long. I mean, those were like what in the 80s, right? Or 90s at least. Avatar 2 has mixed reviews where some love it, some hate it. You know, and that's where like my daughter enjoyed it. But I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Nerdrotic, another YouTube channel. But Nerdrotic, he was basically like, I saw it. It is what it is. Like, I don't hate it, but it did nothing for me. And that's the way I feel like I'm going to kind of be. I'm not excited about it. What day is the Super Bowl? I think it's like February. Let's see, that's still January. So February, is it either the 5th or the 12th? I think it might be the 12th, right? Oh, yeah, the 12th. Yeah, hyped for Indiana Jones 5. I'm very much looking forward to it. Yes, yes. So let's talk about that then. I mean, we're 2 hours and 30 minutes in. I should really address movies I watched this year that I saw for the first time that were not released this year. My favorite of them all, or maybe I'll go backwards since I have them in order here. Wolf Creek 2, and this is number 12 for me. I got 12 listed here. Wolf Creek 2, Matt forced us to watch Wolf Creek and Wolf Creek 2. Wolf Creek, the first one, I didn't care for. Wolf Creek 2 was great. I enjoyed that. Then after that, next or ahead of that would be Schizo, movie Schizo from what, the 70s or whatever. That was a phenomenal movie. Then Blowout. I got the Criterion. In fact, the Criterion, that is a movie that, man, god dang, man, I still cannot believe that he is gone. But Supervillain sent me Blowout. Man, but Blowout was good, and he was really excited to hear my thoughts on Blowout, and Blowout was really good. I really enjoyed that one. And then so number 9 would be The Flu. I think it might be just Flu. I think it's just Flu. Korean movie about a pandemic, and this came out like 4 or 5 years before COVID, so it is nuts. If you watch it, it will scare the shit out of you. But Flu. Then Greyhound, the movie Tom Hanks with the battleships, World War I, I think. Amazing movie. Tom Hanks is always brilliant. And then The Hidden, the movie where the alien transfers from body to body to body. Saw that at that film festival, the Halloween overnight like film festival with Master Chaos. The Hidden, great movie. And then number 6 would be The Taking of Beverly Hills, a recommendation. Fat Samurai guy's like, dude, you got to get Taking of Beverly Hills. Fun, crazy movie, Taking of Beverly Hills. And then number 5, The Iceman with Michael Shannon, right? Yeah, Michael Shannon. Where he plays like the mob, like hitman guy, and then kind of gets like double crossed and screwed into a bad situation. Iceman, great movie. The 4th best movie I saw this year was Encounter, and I watched that after Balzer telling me that, like Balzer was telling me about Elvis and Encounter for a couple months, and I finally got to him. But Encounter, about a Marine with PTSD who there's supposedly like a virus that is like killing everybody, and he's got to get his kids to the secret base where they're going to be safe. And Encounter, if you haven't seen Encounter, I want to say it's like on Netflix or Amazon or something, but Encounter is amazing. 3rd best movie I saw this year that did not come out this year, Lord of Illusions. That is another one I saw that night with Master Chaos at the film festival there. And then the other one, which is funny because we were just talking about it a little while ago, New Year's Evil. I watched that for the first time earlier this year. Absolutely love it. That was my 2nd favorite that I've seen all year. And my most favorite movie that I saw for the first time that did not come out this year is I Saw the Devil. You want to talk about a sick, twisted, messed up movie. That one right there is it, man. It will make you hate that bad guy. You will hate him. But so Flu and I Saw the Devil, both Korean movies, and they're amazing. So yeah, favorite movie that did not come out this year that I saw for the first time was I Saw the Devil. And if this is all, if you guys are curious, if I'm rambling off or talking about movies that you all haven't seen, I could put a list in the description after the video's over or something. If anybody wants that, let me know. I'll list them like in the video description if you're curious as to what they are. Let's see here. Let's see. I watch movies every year that did not come out the year I watch them. Yeah, no, I think there's still so many movies, thousands of movies that have come out in the past that we haven't seen. Yeah, Blowout was great. Yes. And then movie that non-2022 movie that I enjoyed seeing this year was Delivery Man with Vince Vaughn. Holy crap, that movie brought you to tears and definitely enjoyed Vince Vaughn's performance. Nice. Very cool. You know what? And I forgot something because I made this list. Well, no, I'd seen it before, so that doesn't count because these are movies I haven't seen before. But I just watched in the last couple days Man on Fire with Denzel. I love Denzel, man. God, he's so phenomenal. And that's another one of his that is just brilliant. I still think Man on Fire is good, but I still think I like the two Equalizer movies. And I think I like American Gangster and Training Day better. Those four at least I think I like better than Man on Fire. But Man on Fire was so good. Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Isn't it like Santa Claus versus the Martians or something? Or is it Santa Claus Conquers the Martians? But I've heard of that. I don't think I've seen that though. Like kind of like a little bit older movie, right? My favorite movie that I saw this year did not come out was Jungle Cruise. I still haven't seen that, Antonis. I need to check that one out. Gonna bounce, have a decent new year and everybody. And yes, please put a list in the description. Okay, I'll do that, Kevin. But thank you. Have a happy new year. Much success to you, your family, everybody in the new year, and good health too. Because gosh, everybody knows we can all use some good health. If it ain't COVID, now it's like the flu's getting bad, and it's just a crazy world out there. So be careful out there. Stay healthy. Happy New Year to you, Kevin. I also like Godzilla versus Kong that I watched this year. It came out last year. Yeah, Godzilla versus Kong, not my favorite, but I know like Fat Samurai Guy, he absolutely loved that movie. Dead Recliner, what up? How you doing, Dead Recliner? Happy New Year or Happy New Year's Eve to you. Tusk was what the fuck movie seen for the first time this year on Thanksgiving. Nice. No, Tusk is crazy. I love Tusk. I thought that was a phenomenal movie. I really like Tusk. And that to me, very underrated for Kevin Smith. Everybody, when you think Kevin Smith, everybody has certain movies they talk about, Clerks and stuff. But I absolutely love Tusk. I thought it was great. Jungle Cruise was a fun watch. I'd watch again. Nice. Very cool. Yeah. Happy New Year's. Right back at you, Sean. Yes. But man, look at that. I got through my lists. But we have not talked about the celebrities we'd lost this year, and that is something else that I wanted to do in the stream. So the easiest thing, I was starting to make a list of all the celebrities, but then I found this ABC website that basically listed them all for us. So I'm going to pull that up, and we'll go through this together and maybe share our thoughts on some of these folks, because I think this might be just the best way to go about doing it. There we are. So yes, Barbara Walters, lost Barbara Walters. Man, what a legend. Going all the way back, to the 80s. Barbara Walters reporting on stuff. And Barbara Walters is one of those people that she was around before news became controversial. Now it's like you almost have to pick a side. You have to decide if you're going to watch CNN or you have to decide if you're going to watch Fox. You got to kind of pick, because all you're going to do is hear them talk shit about each other. And they all do it. But Barbara Walters was one of those that was around before that kind of stuff went down. And, at least she lived 93 years old. She lived a nice long life. Hopefully she had a great life. Betty White. Yeah. You know what? And it sounds about right. Antonis, didn't she die like New Year's Eve, something like that, right? Or it was like right before her birthday or something. But yeah, Betty White was a while back too. Yeah. But Barbara Walters, man. Let's see. There we go. And then Pele. just what, a couple days ago, like maybe the greatest soccer player of all time, just a legend, in the soccer world. And there's some of these folks that I'm like, I'm not gonna know or whatever, and I don't want to be disrespectful to them at all. But there's 97 celebrities they have listed here that have passed away, and if we sat here and read all of their biographies, we would be here into the new year. So, and Franco Harris, man, they're in on the Holy Roller play, right? Which happened almost 50 years to the day before he passed away, and just a legend in the Pittsburgh Steelers community and just NFL legend in general. And then, yeah, Steven, the Twitch boss from the Ellen show. I never watched Ellen. It's just not my cup of tea. I'm not a TMZ or like an Ellen kind of guy. But yeah, the guy, only 40 years old, took his own life. Very, very sad. And Tonus, yeah, we did lose Angela Lansbury, and we're going to get to her for sure. Yes. OGP up at this hour. Yes. Yeah. Fossey man, what's up? Yeah, no, we're just chilling. We've been live for 2 hours and 40 minutes now, doing a year in review. And if you missed it, I did a list of my favorite horror movies for the year, my favorite movies of the year, the movies that pissed me off for the most for the year, and movies that I seen for the first time that weren't new this year. We've already gone through all those. So you can either watch a replay and check that all out, or maybe I'll run through a recap after we get through. But we're talking about all the folks that we lost this year. But good to see you drop in, Foster man. Very happy New Year to you. Hopefully you and your family have a very, very nice, healthy, and dry and warm New Year, because it's like wet and cold in so many places. Yeah, Bob Saget, man. You think about, and going back, it's just so many. Here you go. Kirstie Alley, legends, and it talks about, Look Who's Talking, Drop Dead Gorgeous, Veronica's Closet, Dancing with the Stars. But for me and most of us, Cheers. We remember her from Cheers. And she was in, what movie was Village of the Damned, right? I think she was in Village of the Damned. Then Bob McGrath, Sesame Street dude. Gaylord Perry, legendary baseball player. Christine McVie from Fleetwood Mac. Very sad knowing that Fleetwood Mac can never tour as a whole band again. Irene Cara, who the soundtrack, the song Fame, I want to live forever. If you don't know it, we're talking late 70s, 80s TV shows and music. Phenomenal talent, Irene Cara. And John Aniston. And was that, I think that's Jennifer Aniston's dad, right? Oh, yeah, his daughter, actress Jennifer Aniston. So Jennifer Aniston's dad, was a soap opera legend. And then Gallagher, yeah. Man, I think that Gallagher was already 76. Gosh, I don't know why, but, and I should, because I remember seeing Gallagher in San Diego at the San Diego County Fair back in the mid 90s. So yeah, it was a long time ago, and he was already probably 50 or whatever. So just crazy, but crazy to think he was already 76. And again, Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman. You'd think about animated Batman. That's really the voice you think. And man, it's crazy. We're on 14 and 97, and you think of all the impact that these people have had on your life already, if you're a fan of entertainment in any form, music or movies or TV. And yeah, Aaron Carter, and some of these so tragic, so young, 34 years old, anybody, taking their own life or dying, whether it's drug overdose or whatever. If you're 34 or 40 years old, just so unbelievably tragic. And Takeoff, and I'm not going to lie, I don't know who, and I'm guessing, I think he's a rapper of some sort, but I don't know. I don't listen to any of that, newer hip hop stuff. So I don't know who he is, but Jerry Lee Lewis, I definitely know who Jerry Lee Lewis is. Legend, toured with Elvis and Johnny Cash and some of the other, I think maybe even Waylon Jennings, way back in the 60s and 70s. just a country music legend, and Jerry Lee Lewis. Julie Powell, not going to lie, I'm not really sure who she is, but 49, way too young. And Leslie Jordan, a very, very funny dude. And yeah, 67 years old. Boy, he sure looked older than 67 in this picture, doesn't he? With all that solid white hair. Yeah. Yeah, rest in peace to all of them. Lots of prayers to their families. Yes, for sure. Nichelle Nichols, you're right. We haven't even got to her yet. Yeah, rest in peace, Kev. Just a shame. Yep. 4 famous people passed away: Kirstie Alley, Ray Liotta, Fred Ward, Razor Ramon. Yeah, no, you're right. Yep. Ashton Carter, I'm not sure, some type of political guy. Robbie Coltrane, from the Harry Potter movies. Yes, that's right. What was the role that he played? Hagrid, right? In the Harry Potter movies. Very sad. Angela Lansbury, she was 96. So, I mean, 96. You lived in 96. You're doing pretty good. Loretta Lynn, like old school country singer, just a legend. And I really enjoy some Loretta Lynn music. And Coolio, man, what a shock to me. Like, DMX, Coolio, losing some of these guys. It's just like, man, that is like, I just imagine like me and Fluffy Gamer rolling around in the 90s, like in Vegas, bumping, Coolio, Gangster's Paradise, and 1, 2, 3, 4, get your woman on the floor. That, like, whatever that song was called. It might have been called 1, 2, 3, 4. But man, Coolio, man, like just crazy. And Coolio lived in Vegas, and he was like a legend out there in Vegas. He would hang out at bars and stuff. People knew him, Hillary Nelson, she died climbing a mountain or something. Boy, yeah, 49. So sad. Louise Fletcher, from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And again, forgive me because I'm not going to recognize all these folks. No, and you're right, the Queen, and she's on this list. I've already seen the Queen is on this list. Yeah. Yeah. Something new. Yeah. Thanks, K-Dog. Let's see. The influence of early musical endeavor accompanying church hymnals growing up in Little Rock, Arkansas, played throughout the life of Pharaoh Sanders, venturing from the Jim Crow lawbound South to California and New York. So a jazz and R&B performer, Pharaoh Sanders, 81. But 81, you lived a good life. That's good. Hillary Mantel here at 70 years old, you're like, that's a little young. That's a little young. You like to see at least to be, people live into their 80s. Jean-Luc Godard, best known for his film Breathless. So filmmaker. Kenneth Starr. He's was like a lawyer, pivotal role in the impeachment of Bill Clinton. And here you go, Queen Elizabeth II, 96. Man, my wife and I were sitting here, not after she passed, but before she passed, like it seemed like, several months ago, going, gosh, the Queen's going to outlive Charles. Poor guy's never going to get a chance to be king. But, because gosh, Charles is already like, is he 70 or something? He's up there. So, man, and I was glued to the TV. I sat on the couch right over here, seemed like for 24 hours watching, her funeral and everything, for her. Just such a legendary figure in the history of the world because of what she did with empowering the people of the United Kingdom, giving powers back to some of those countries, and just keeping peace, for so long. She's just, I know a lot of people don't like the Queen. A lot of people got issues, England or whatever. Fair enough. But she is a historical figure that will live in history forever. Bernard Shaw, pioneering journalist, one of the first black anchors in TV news. Wow, I didn't know that. That's very interesting, very cool. Yeah, definitely a pioneer. Moon Landrieu, Louisiana State Legislature. Mikhail Gorbachev, man, you want to talk. So, you know, back in the day, man, remember Ronald Reagan telling Mikhail Gorbachev, you know, wasn't it Mikhail Gorbachev, tear down that wall. And, you know, and Mikhail Gorbachev was, you know, in charge of the Soviet Union at the time the Cold War ended and the Soviet Union broke up. And, you know, went on to be like what, president of Russia afterwards. And really, really a good dude. And I wish Vladimir Putin was a little more like Mikhail Gorbachev, because he really is responsible for us not blowing each other up. And Tim Page, a legendary photographer, and Anne Heche, yep, 53, man. And you know, so it's crazy. They say in the autopsy that they found evidence of drugs and things in her system, but they do not believe at the time of the accident that she was under the influence. Like she wasn't, you know, drinking or whatever, but there was traces like she had done drugs, just not, you know, at that time. So I don't know what exactly happened that day where she crashed. She was like an emotional wreck. But the idea that she was in that car with that house on fire for like a half hour or hour or something, what a living hell to have to go through. I just hope she was unconscious for the most of it, because man, that's just tragic. And such a phenomenal actress, been in so many different good movies and things that we could talk about. So sad. Was sad. I saw Coolio and Daredevil with Ben Affleck a few days after he passed. Really sad. Loved his badass Gangster Paradise. Yeah, no, Gangster Paradise, one of the greatest hip hop songs of all time. And, you know, in an amazing movie too, that song, you know, just what it means, what it's about and everything. Just, man, just phenomenal. Mike Bossy, Kirstie Alley. Do you think there's an afterlife? OGP. And so, Frosty Man, unfortunately, we just had talked about that a few minutes before you jumped in. And I say I definitely 100% believe that there is a life after we die. I don't know if the Bible's right. I don't know if the Quran is right. I don't know if the Jews are right. I don't know if the Mormons are right. I don't know who's right, if anybody's right, because human hands have touched all that stuff too much to leave it true and pure. So I don't know, but I do believe we talked for a while about, you know, some encounters, some experiences I had after I lost my grandfather and my mom and stuff. And we talked about maybe we'll do a show down the road where we just dedicate to paranormal and afterlife and stuff like that. But I do believe, yes, Fosty Man, I really do believe in that. 4:10 a.m. in PA and good old Pennsylvania. What's up, Rashawn? How you doing? Hey, very happy New Year to you and the family. Hopefully you're staying nice and warm over there. Mike, it is 1:11 in the morning over here, but I'm a night owl. I could go all night long, you know, but it's just I don't know what it is. I'm just a night owl. And it's funny. I was talking to my grandmother the other day, and she lives back in Nebraska. And I was telling her, I was like, I spend so much my time up in the middle of the night. She's like, well, you can call me. I'm up till like 3:00 in the morning. And so I was like, well, now I know where I get it. I know why I'm a night owl. I'm a night owl. I get it from my grandmother. My mom was the same way. I remember, you know, being a kid with my mom watching horror movies, sitting up watching horror movies late at night, you know, or watching stuff like Twilight Zone, you know, and just different things. But yeah, I'm just a night owl. It is true. I believe it. Yep. My VCR Star Wars. What up? Yep. Thank you, Rashawn. Appreciate that. And so moving on the list here. Well, we skipped. So Anne Heche and Olivia Newton-John. Yes, you know, so she was 73. She was getting up there, but unfortunately still a little bit young. But she had cancer. So it got her. Unfortunately, my uncle is suffering from cancer right now. And somebody asked, one of you asked, you know, on my Christmas party video I did, if I had one Christmas wish, what would it be? And my Christmas wish would be that my uncle could get over that cancer, get past it and get better. And I'm still hoping he's doing chemo, and fingers crossed, and prayers that he does get better. Jordy Switzer, what's up, Jordy? How you doing? Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year's Eve, but I hope you have a happy New Year. And Vin Scully, man, 94. Vin Scully had a great life. Voice of the Dodgers forever. And as much as I hate the stinking Dodgers can suck it. You cannot deny Vin Scully, probably maybe the greatest sportscaster in history. You can talk about a couple other folks in that category, but Vin Scully, if the Dodgers did one thing right, it was keeping Vin around all those years. And I love listening to interviews and Vin talk. And if I did have to, like if I was listening to a ball game and Vin was the voice that I had to listen to, even if it was a Dodger game, I was okay with that. It was just amazing. His tone, his rhythm with his conversations, everything, second to none. As a true legend right there. And we had actually jumped over David McCullough, 89. Nice long life there. And Bill Russell, 88 years old. Boy, Bill Russell was up there. Legendary NBA player. And yep, Nichelle Nichols, man, it's crazy to think how long ago the original Star Trek was filming, and the fact that a few of them, including Shatner, are still around is very amazing. But yeah, Nichelle Nichols, Leonard Nimoy, and forgive me for forgetting the others that have passed already, but forgetting their names. But what a pioneer! Like the first interracial kiss. I think it was like the first interracial kiss, on-screen kiss in like television history, I think. Just a pioneer and a phenomenal actress. That show would not have been the same without her. She was great. Pat Carroll, comedic actress. Let's see. She was on the Danny Thomas show. Oh, on the Mary Tyler Moore show. Wow. An actress from way back in the day there. Tony Dow, 77, 77, you're almost 80. You lived a nice long life. But Tony Dow, man, what a huge part of the Leave It to Beaver show. Such a big part of my childhood. And those shows were recorded before my time, but they were on in reruns all the time. Good times. Thank you all. Sean, 420, if you're out of here, hey, happy New Year to you. Thank you for hanging out with us. Everybody, if you got to go, thank you for hanging out with us. It's been a blast tonight, having so much fun. A little sad here going through memory lane of the folks we've lost, but talking about movies and some of the movies we loved or hated or whatever throughout this last year, it's been a lot of fun. And thank you all for being here. And when you do go, if you don't say you're leaving or anything, or if you're just one of the lurkers that doesn't talk, I wish you all a very happy New Year. How about Jason David Frank? Yes. No, very sad. Anybody that young taking their own life, just tragic, just absolutely tragic, and get a feel for his kids, his friends, his family, but unfortunately his life has been kind of rough over the last, few years or whatever. And, unfortunately got the best of him. Very sucks. In the USA, it was the first, and my VCR. I'm sorry. I'm missing your response to what that comment is. I'm sorry. What are we responding to there? I'm sorry. Still on Me TV channel. Oh, talking about Leave It to Beaver. Yeah. No, I believe it. And Paul Sorvino, man, legendary mob gangster actor. Paul Sorvino, absolutely, man. Like Goodfellas. I think of Paul Sorvino. I think of Goodfellas. I know there's a lot of other things that he's done, but I mean, like, come on, Uncle Paulie, right? Come on. Claes Oldenburg. Let's see, sculptor. And yeah, and again, like I said, I apologize. I'm not going to know all of them. Ivana Trump, Donald Trump's first wife, 73. That's too young. Tony Sirico, man, gosh. Polly Walnuts. We lost both our Pollies this year. 79 years old, man. He had a good run. 79, but what a life that guy lived. Listen to some interviews with him talking about his life as a mobster before he got into acting and everything. I just, man, I could listen to Tony Sirico tell stories all day. Just devastated. But hey, Tony Sirico, Paulie Walnuts, and James Gandolfini, Tony Soprano, man, both of them gone now. So sad. Love you and what we want. Well, Deshak, well, thank you so much for that kind words. We love you right back. And hopefully you have a very, very happy new year and staying warm, staying dry, but having some fun this new year and staying safe and healthy. You're here to the end. Decent. Nice. Very cool. Got to run. Have a kick-ass new year. Being Chilly, you do the same. Thank you. And man, we're going to see you. We're doing it up next year. Hopefully, I'm hoping to continue the channel growing and getting bigger and better and a lot more fun. Monday, though, be here Monday. It'll be the 2nd, but we are doing the 5 o'clock on the West Coast, 8 o'clock on the East Coast. We are doing the video again Monday. Every Monday's a giveaway. #EMAG. We are doing a giveaway Monday. It's going to be a lot of fun. Got some good stuff, good prizes out there to possibly win. So hopefully we get to see you Monday if you can make it. But yeah, thank you and happy New Year, Being Chilly. Shinzo it's Abe or Abe, and he was the prime minister of Japan. Is that what? I'm not sure what Japan. Oh yeah, Japan's longest serving prime minister. Yeah, and a lot of people loved him, and his death I think was very sketchy. James Caan, man, another absolute legend. So many movies, from The Godfather, and Rollerball and Misery. I mean, it is like, man, the list goes on with James Caan. But man, 82 though, 82. If you make it to 82, you're doing okay. You're like playing with house money. Margaret Keane. Yeah, again, not familiar. Is she an artist? But 94, she had a good long life. Mary Mara, 61, from Nash Bridges, ER, Law and Order. Yeah, 61. That's way too young. Way too young. And Ray Liotta, man, 67. Gosh, Tony Sirico and Paul Sorvino, they were a little bit older. James Caan, they're a little bit older. You can understand. 67 years old, man, for Ray Liotta. And yeah, we think of Ray Liotta. I think most of us immediately think of Goodfellas. And then right after that for me is Hannibal. I absolutely loved him in Hannibal. So many, great movies from Ray Liotta. So freaking sad, man. He had a lot left to give. An old prime minister got shot with a homemade gun. Crazy. That's right. I remember. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, the Japan prime minister was very sketchy how he went. James Caan, rest in peace, total badass and thief. Very badass movie. Yeah, man, James Caan, man, legend. You were born in 77. Well, Sean, we are very close in age then. Very close. Wow, 101. Roger Angel, writer for the New Yorker, 1944, covering baseball. Man, 101. You make it to 100, you can't really complain when it's time to go. Richard Wald, journalist. Robert McFarlane, national security advisor to Ronald Reagan. Naomi Judd, she was 76, but 76, I mean, she's not a spring chicken, but still sad to find out that she passed from taking her own life. She committed suicide at 76 years old. I think it was because of health issues, or it might have, I can't remember if it was depression or whatever, but gosh, so sad, that 76 years old, you're going to take your own life. Very sad. Orrin Hatch, of Utah, longest serving senator. Robert Morse, 90, debut in The Matchmaker. So he was a Broadway performer. Gilbert Gottfried, man, I can't even believe that was this year. So many folks have passed. It's just like, man, Gilbert Gottfried was this year. It feels like that was years ago with all the other people we've lost in the last year. So sad. Jerry Olsman. Let's see, what was he? Image of the Darkroom. So it looks like he was a photographer or developed film, some type of art. Yeah, very sad. 87 years old though. He did all right. Estelle Harris, man, what a legend! What a legend, Estelle Harris. But 93 though, she was up there. Patrick, I don't know how you say his last name. Worked for Harper's Bazaar, Vogue, so fashion industry. Tom Parker, man, 33. I don't know the band, but man, 33 years old. That's just way too damn young. Stage 4 brain cancer. Gosh, so tragic. Taylor Hawkins, only 50 years old, man. The Foo Fighters, Alanis Morissette's band. And, I think he played in a lot of different bands, but 50 years old, that's way too young. Dirk Halstead, 85, looks like a photographer. Madeleine Albright, man, is she the first woman to hold the office of Secretary of State? Of the United States, congressman, and yeah, here you go, Razor Ramon, man, 63. We are losing UFC fighters and WWE legends, just wrestling legends in general, way too young. And I gotta wonder, with all of them that we've lost over the years, is a result of what they put their bodies through in and out of the ring to be, because back in the 80s, man, they were all juicing on the roids and stuff. And I'm not saying that Razor Ramon did that, but man, yeah, absolute legend. Yeah, one of your favorite wrestlers, one of a lot of people's favorite wrestlers, right? Yeah, very sad. Ray Liotta, rest in peace, very talented actor. Favorite movie is Field of Dreams. Great movie, right? Great movie. Rest in peace, Razor. Yeah, man. William Hurt. From movies, Body Heat, Big Chill. Man, in a lot of good movies. Emilio Delgado, longest Mexican American actor on TV. He played Fix-It shop owner on Sesame Street for 40 years. 81 though. 81. He was getting up there. Sally Kellerman, from original Star Trek and Twilight Zone, Bonanza, Cheyenne, MASH. Man, you want to talk about, she's like in almost every legendary show of the 60s right there. 84 years old. Dr. Paul Farmer, American physician known for humanitarian contributions worldwide. 62. Boy, wow. You hate to see that, somebody who's willing to dedicate their life to helping people in less fortunate situations or countries or whatever. 62 years old. Wow. PJ O'Rourke, journalist. Ivan Reitman, director from Foxy Lady. Oh, he produced Animal House and Meatballs. Wow. Classics. Animal House and Meatball, two of the funniest comedies of all time. Betty Davis, groundbreaking funk singer. Gosh, she made the song Uptown. Man, yeah, legend. 77. Monica Vitti, for the Queen of Italian Cinema, also an Italian actress. Robin Herman, 70. Sports journalist for the Times. Wow, as a female back in the 70s. Wow, pioneer. Chesley Chris, 30 years old. Oh, wow, she was Miss USA in 2019, Miss USA. Gosh, that's sad. I did not hear about that. It's sad. Wow. Howard Hessman. Oh, man, what was he? Oh, yeah, Dr. Johnny Fever on WKRP in Cincinnati. Man, love that show. Such a funny show. Howard Hessman. 81, though. He got up there. Manfred Theory Mugler. Wow, look at him. I don't know. French fashion designer. I wonder, is that his regular nose or was that plastic surgery? That's a rough looking nose. But man, 73, a little bit too young. And Louis Anderson, man. So Louis Anderson, me having a lot of comedian friends in Las Vegas, including Warren Durso, They all were very close with Louis. And I got to, the only time I ever got to be in the same room as Louis Anderson was at another funeral for Marty Allen, who had passed away a few years ago. And we were at Marty Allen's funeral and Louis was there. I didn't get a chance to, to really talk to him or anything, but was sitting right with like Jimmy JJ Walker at that funeral. And, that was for Marty Allen. And then with Louis, it was so sudden. Louis was in his late 60s, but we didn't know. And then we all, we found out he had cancer. And then it was like 2 days later, he was gone. He just kept it very, very much to himself. But yeah, I believe, if I remember right, my buddy Warren, who I love Warren to death, and I always see him, when I'm out there in Vegas at Matt's. And Warren is like one of the funniest men on the planet. But I think Warren got to go see Louis when he was in the hospital before Louis passed. 68, man, way too young. But and it was cancer that got him. It was cancer. It wasn't his weight. And that's usually the heavier folks don't live, that long. And Louis always carried a lot of weight around on him. But yeah, man, 68, a very funny dude, very funny at Marty Allen's funeral. And here's the thing. It's a comedian's funeral. They're going to crack jokes and stuff, not about him at his expense, but they're going to do jokes because they're all comedians. And, Carrot Top couldn't be there. He had a show. He was out of town, but he sent like a video message, and so many other comedians were there. It just, at that funeral for Marty Allen where Louis was. And, but very, very, very funny, man. New Louis, very nice man, class act. Yep. Ivan Reitman was born in Czechoslovakia. Amazing comedy is hard for foreign people to grasp the nuances of American English comedy. Wow. Yeah. It's, man, you go country to country, especially if there's any type of language barriers or whatever. A lot of times comedy doesn't carry over. It might not seem, funny in the translation or whatever. I can't even begin to say this dude's name, but a Zen Buddhist monk, 95 years old. Man, he got his money's worth. And Meatloaf, 74, a little bit young, but I like to think Meatloaf lived himself a nice full life. You think of Meatloaf, you're thinking of all the way back into the 70s and stuff, as a singer, and then in movies and stuff too. So very talented person. Oh, wow. Gaspard Ulliel, if that's how you say it, French actor, 37 years old. Ah, so sad. Andre Leon Talley was author, curator, TV personality, and style icon. I can't say that I knew him, but 73, a little bit too young still. Charles McGee, look at that, 102 years old. Brigadier General was a Tuskegee Airman. Wow. Legend. Tuskegee Airman. Man. Great movie. What an amazing, brave set of individuals. Nino Cerruti, Italian fashion designer, 91. Ronnie Spector. And that was that Phil Spector's wife? The relative's long older sister, Ronnie Spector, born, teamed up with producer Phil Spector. Yeah. Married Phil Spector in 1968. Yeah. Which Phil Spector turned out to be an interesting dude, but Ronnie, but 78 though, nice long life. Clyde Bellecourt was a Native American activist who fought for civil rights of indigenous people. Wow. 85. Well, that's a nice long life though. Although I've heard stories like over here locally, the tribes that are kind of local out this way, their stories where they're living to like 120 years old, like they're doing something right, in whatever they're eating or something. I don't know about the younger generation, but that tribe over here is like known for living long lives, like a lot longer than 85. But still, to me, you get to 85, You've lived a good life. Bob Saget. Look at this. We still got 9. There's 7 more to go. And man, this is mind-boggling. But Bob Saget, just devastating news. He was on tour. He was so funny. Look at this, 65. He didn't look 65. I wonder if he dyed his hair or whatever. Because man, I'm like in my 40s and I'm like fully gray. You know, Bob Saget, you know, always looked young. But what a legend. You know, what an absolute comedic genius. Maria Ewing, LA Opera. So she was an opera singer. Marilyn Bergman, 93, nice long life. Michael Lang, concert promoter. Lonnie Gunner, I don't know how you say her name. Legal scholar, civil rights theorist. Peter Bogdanovich, he started his career, movie critic. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. And he was in The Sopranos, right? Pretty sure he was in Sopranos. Wild Angels, Last Picture Show. What's Up, Doc? Was he the shrink? He was the shrink in The Sopranos, right? And Sidney Poitier. Gosh, how I cannot say his name. But man, legend, absolute legendary actor. So yeah, man, gosh, so many legends we lost this year. It's just crazy to think that many. And out of those 97, I guess I probably knew at least 60 or 70 of them. It's just crazy to think that many folks have passed away this year. So sad, such a sad year for celebrities and stuff. And you know, and then losing you know, people close to us as well, family members and good friends, you know, like Supervillain. Speaking of Supervillain, I kind of want to drop in to the GoFundMe for Supervillain. I'm going to take a look at that real quick and see where it is. As we, you know, What Movie One and Cinestalker and I did the video dedicated to Supervillain on Monday, and put up the GoFundMe. And we were hoping, like before it even started, we were hoping to get to like $1,000 before the night was over. And by the time we went offline, we were like it was like at $5,000 or something. So, and I'm not patting our back because obviously he had a lot of friends and family and loved ones. But if any of you donated to this, I just want to say thank you. And we appreciate, you know, the support to our good friend, Supervillain Pete, Esteban, Supervillain Pete. And let me just share this real quick. I just love this picture of him and his kids. Such a great picture, a supervillain right there. Such a good friend, such a huge supporter of the channel. You know, not just my channel, but Web Movies and Cinestalker and Dead Pit and Born to Be Rad. Just like all of us knew him. He was just such a good dude, a loving, caring, generous friend. And losing him on Christmas Eve, man, tragic. I just feel horrible for his kids. Just horrible. But I'm thrilled that they're almost $12,000 toward his funeral, and I hope they get there, you know, to the full 15. But that 11, almost 12,000 is going to go a long way toward a proper funeral service for him. So I'm eternally grateful to everybody that's donated to that campaign there. But you can see so many, you know, people make anonymous donations. So, you know, we don't always know who's contributed or whatever, but any of you that have, thank you. And if you don't have the means to, I understand, and, you know, and don't hold it against you at all. But he was just such a good friend to us, and fingers crossed, I'm going to do what I can to be at his funeral. I put up a post the other day, something that I'll talk about in a minute. I'd love to do something to kind of try and, you know, help his kids out in the long run, and maybe make a memorial kind of thing for him. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, OGP late as F. Yeah, it is 1:37 in the morning. That's how I roll. We're 3 hours and 19 minutes in. The other day I went live at like 10 and we went 3 hours. So I had to beat that, right? I had to top it. I had to top it, right? Man, Supervillain, wherever you are, if you're watching, brother, man, we're going to miss you. We are going to miss Supervillain. That's for sure. I know he would have popped in by now. He would have popped in and we would have seen him in the chat if he was able to be with us here. Just tragic. Such a bummer. But man, it's been a crazy year. And talking about, some events and things. Also, Albert Payun. We did not have Albert in that list there. I guess ABC News, didn't think about, the guy that gave us Cyborg and so many great movies. Albert passed away not too long ago. And, I'd gotten to know him a little bit right as he started getting sick and he was having seizures and stuff. And he was making a movie, and I'm hoping that it gets finished. The movie he was in the process of making right now. Hopefully it gets finished, but we shall see. But I'm going to go down a list. I have a few things. Excuse me. Look at that. I got a yawn. We're going to have to wrap it up soon. Start a yawn over here. But I'm going to talk about some things that I just have pictures of that deserve maybe honorable mentions or dishonorable mentions. And one, ambulance. Didn't care for it. To me, it was just action, no substance. Didn't care for it. Andor, phenomenal show. If you have not seen Andor, you got to get on the train. You got to watch Andor. It was great. Next to The Mandalorian, it's the best Star Wars TV show that has come out in recent years. Animal Kingdom. They did 5 seasons or 6? Whatever the last season was, it got kind of hokey. And the ending was like, what the hell? But I missed that show. It was a good, fun show that I missed, or that I will miss. Look at that. I can't do this. I can't be on here yawning in you guys' faces. My apologies. Please let me get through the rest of this list here, and then we'll call it a night. Beavis and Butthead movie. It was fun. Wet Movie 1 and I watched together. We enjoyed it. We laughed. It was fun. Better Call Saul came to an end. Very sad. I love Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul and El Camino movie. All that stuff. Absolutely love it. Gonna miss it. Christmas Story Christmas. This was good. I really enjoyed this. Surprised how good and how much I enjoyed that movie. Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities show on Netflix. Amazing. Like I said, Netflix comes out with some great shows. Their movies, but the shows, man, they hit home runs. That is a good one if you have not seen it. Creep IE coming up a month away. I'm not sure if the t-shirts are still for sale or not, but if you're going to be at Creep IE and you want to get one of the t-shirts, you got to pre-order them to make sure you're going to be able to get one so they're not sold out when you get there. Another thing I want to mention, getting to meet Felissa Rose in person for the first time earlier this year. A lot of fun. And the picture right there, I have another one on the wall where she signed it to me. And she hooked me up because I'm friends with the Wet Movie. So how cool is that, man? Wet Movie 1 and Felissa Rose, on a first name basis. Very good stuff. And then remember this, Gary Busey charged with sex crime for being a pervert at a convention this year. What the hell are you doing, Gary Busey? Come on, at a convention? Oh boy. And then Mayans TV show. Excellent TV show. Really enjoying it. Obi-Wan? Horrible. Ozark. Man, I'm going to miss Ozark. Such a great, great show. One of my, definitely in my top 10 favorite shows of all time. I'm not sure if it cracks top 5, but definitely top 10 favorite shows of all time. Amazing. I think Moonfall came out earlier this year, right? I went and saw that with Wet Movie 1, and we enjoyed it. A little over the top goofiness, but we enjoyed it. Went to San Diego Comic-Con with Fat Samurai Guy, Sexy Sumo, and some other homies. But man, had a great time at San Diego Comic-Con. I'm just kind of recapping the year now. Smile was good. Left open-ended, like setting up for a sequel, which I hate, so didn't like it. But the movie was okay, all in all. The Old Man TV show. Phenomenal TV show with the dude and Mr. Henderson himself, right? Harry and Henderson's. John Lithgow. Great show if you haven't watched that. Thor, Love, and Thunder. Wakanda Forever, not gonna lie, haven't seen it yet. I'm just superhero fatigue. Just haven't seen it. Tulsa King, I'm enjoying this. 7 episodes in, and I am enjoying it. It's not as deep or legit or as good as The Sopranos, but it's a fun show. Absolutely love Wednesday. I thought it was brilliant. Loved everything about it. No complaints. Oh, where'd you go? That one right there. Phenomenal. Amazing. Look at that. Here I'm hanging out with this gosh, forget it. Oh man, I can't even point the right direction. Yellowstone. I finally caved and started watching Yellowstone, and I love it. I binged it. It was so good. I got caught up in just a few days. Have not started watching season 5 though. 1883, good show, but haven't started watching season 5. And I don't know, is the new one out with Harrison Ford? I don't know if that's out yet or not, but man, that looks great. But I think I'm gonna wait so I can binge a bunch of episodes of that. But man, I am yawning. This night is going to have to come to an end now. Unfortunately, 1:43 in the morning is almost 2. Man, another hour and 15 minutes. It would be New Year's Eve in Hawaii, and we're getting close. Man, what time is it in Australia? Let's see. Let me Google something here. Let's see. It is so it's 8:44 in Sydney right now. So almost 9 o'clock. So we're still 3 hours away from New Year's in Australia at this point. Because I think Sydney's the furthest east there. But man, it is we're getting close. We are getting close to the new year here. It is almost everywhere in the United States. It is New Year's Eve now. And I thank you all for being here and hanging out with me. This was a blast. I thank you for the support all year long. You all have been amazing, and it is your support and your interacting and comments and everything that you've done for me over the year that keeps me going and keeps me wanting to do this. Channel members, I have a video. I've edited it. It is done. I just have to produce it. It's going to be up for the channel members, a new video from me in Boston. Actually, this one was in Portsmouth, or it was up in New Hampshire at Strawberry Bank. That's going to be up for channel members here in just a few hours. But everybody else, there'll be another video coming over the weekend. You'll see me somewhere, whether it's here or on Web Movie or Ones or somebody else's channel. I don't know where, but you'll see me over the weekend somewhere celebrating New Year. And then Monday we'll be back for sure with the Every Monday's a giveaway. 5 o'clock on the West Coast, 8 o'clock on the East Coast. If you want to win prizes, no strings attached. All you got to do is be here at 5 when I go live for your chance to win. Foster, man, good night. Happy New Year to you. Thank you very much. Sean 420, thank you. OGP, have a great New Year. Peace out. You do the same. And peace out to you as well. Let's see. Donner was creepy. Yeah, Donner was very creepy. Yep. You were at that con. That's the con when I did coke with John. What? You didn't do coke with John Carpenter, Foster, man. Are you pulling my leg? Happy New Year, chat. May all your perverted wishes and degenerate fantasies come true. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about, Foster, man. Let's see. Puller 12, y'all. Happy 2023. Thanks for all, OGP. Have a great New Year. No, thank you all for hanging out and being my inspiration to continue doing this and make some great content for you all. And Barbara Walters died today. Yep, we talked about that a little bit ago. Very sad news, but fortunately she lived a nice, long, full life. Juno, happy New Year's, OGP and everyone. See you in 2023. Let's see what movies are next year. Have a good night, folks. Yes, and we're going to do another. We are going to do another show where we look forward to the movies coming out. I thought about mixing it up with this one, but I was like, it's going to go too long. So we're going to do another show maybe in a week or so where we talk about what to look forward to in 2023 as far as movies and TV shows. Sean 420, happy New Year. Antonis, have a good night. You do the same. Thank you very much. You're Sean. Good night, sir. And happy New Year to you all. Fluffy, gotta go, man. Gotta go, Fluff. Fluff, did you hear my comment earlier about Paul? Your brother was in the chat like at the beginning of the show. Very cool. Like seeing Paul drop by. But yeah, man, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. It's been a blast tonight. Appreciate you all. Happy New Year to everybody. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. Celebrate responsibly. Don't be drinking and driving. Stay warm. Stay dry. It's raining a lot and stuff and cold. But be good, everybody, and have fun. And I'll see you on the other side. Bye-bye.